This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Self-love, vision, cue the music, Nope. Yes, sir.
I'm just a kid from Chicago.
At the end of the day,
I'm just a kid from Chicago.
are you? Yes, sir.
Just a kid from Chicago. Trying to make a way in the game of life, trying to make a play. I'm just a kid from Chicago.
Southside.
Back against the wall, all the
Sir.
ever tried to do it ball. Just a kid from Chicago.
Yeah.
Trying to make a change. Why these haters wanna take me out the game?
Man,
Just a
these
kid from Chicago.
haters. Small ups to the haters. Big ups to the supporters. Welcome. Welcome to Chi-Town's very own, the Self-Love Show, where our motto is on earth as it is in heaven, and also as above, well, so below. You can catch us right here on YouTube, on the channel This Ain't That Network, TATN. I'm one of the co-hosts, 9 Millie, also known as Self-Love. Best food on the planet. We want some fries with our barbecue and some mild sauce. That's how we want it. What down, Chi-Town? What down, what down, what down? South side, west side, north side. Dare I say east side? East side. Yeah, well, greater Chicago suburban area. Big ups, Harvey, Dalton, Cal Park, Cal City, south suburbs. Maywood, Bellwood, Oak Lawn. Big ups. So, so today is J5, January 5th, Tuesday, 2020. Extremely special day. Extremely special day in my heart. But we could be any place in this universe, and thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here, together. What down? What down, Delph Love? What you manifesting today, Noop?
Love. Self. Love. What you vibrating?
Love, G. Love. So how's life on the south side today or anywhere in the Chi? What's going on in the city, bro?
Man, vibration is strange, bro. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on. Feeling is kind of crazy out there. People, some people are like still in the holiday spirit, but some people ain't at all. And they vibrating low.
Man, Just craziness, huh?
Yeah, I try to tell them the greatness is contagious. So, we can
Yeah,
elevate this thing.
we're gonna stop trying. You know,
Yeah,
we're gonna stop trying to tell them. That's the thing about it. We got to stop trying.
period.
All
There's
of
no
us.
try. Do or don't do. There is no try.
Facts. Facts. So, yeah, man. So today, bro, we got a big topic. I mean, it's not a celebrity. It's not something to, I guess, celebrate. Well, I mean, it's not our shame. It would be the pink people's shame. But we're talking about big slavery, and we're asking some very central questions. Who profited? Where did it start? Who started it? Who profited it from it? Um, when did it end? Did it end? And so, if you're bad enough to say that slavery ended, what date was that? Did the memo go out? Was that Juneteenth? Because I mean, there's people who are slaves today, but technically.
Many of us. A lot of us are caught in the mental cage and not trying to get out. Very comfortable.
Yeah, was it the greater Bob Marley who said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery?
Yes.
Yeah, but are we talking about mental slavery? Okay,
Um,
because chattel slavery was both mental and physical. I mean, you could have been over there and somebody could have said, I'm sure there was house Negroes walking around saying, you're not a slave, it's all in your mind. Master's feeding you and you got a roof over your head. Imagine what it'll be if they ended slavery. What are you going to do then? You got a good master. So, I mean, does any of that sound remotely familiar?
yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, we have a quasi open panel. I mean, we know we always have an enlightened first. We technical stuff. I'm just sick of acknowledging it. Couldn't launch the show on the regular tab, but thank goodness it happened tonight and not tomorrow. So, we can do some figuring before tomorrow. I mean, thought I did everything the same way we did last week, but yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's technical shit. Sometimes you can do everything right and it still won't work.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I got some rhetoricals, Tori. I got some rhetoricals. Was slavery a choice? If so, is it a slave? Is it a choice now? You know, people, anybody with some gonads out there in the chat who might want to opine. We're down for that. We're here for it. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we got. So, if anybody's got any particular expertise in this subject, any historians or anything like that, please type in the chat or let us know. There's a link there. We'd love to hear from you if anybody has any strong opinions on this. Yeah, let's talk about it. Big slavery.
Yep. We got some housekeeping to do and we need to, put our platform out there.
Yeah, well, you know what? Good note. Absolutely. Handle your BI and then we can get the self-love show going, brother.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying
all the way through the show. Share,
to
like,
put,
subscribe,
quote,
thumbs up,
new
please.
wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master, in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the self-love show is a lesson, not a lecture.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town.
Silverback.
4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Yeah, buddy. Blew it. Yeah, buddy. Man. So, man, we had a great show. I want to thank and give a big ups to Michael McNeil, the global cybersecurity genius.
Man, it was every time, man. It's just more than I anticipate.
Uh-huh.
Every conversation, man.
Uh-huh.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
He expanded and I didn't know he was like basically from the area, you know what I mean? Found out where he came up and all of that. I had no idea.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and he's I guess rolling out the vaccinations or in charge of, that too. Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
It is.
Extreme. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Man. So, hey, if you guys have any way to just, reach out to YouTube, all you guys, tell them TATN, had some videos deleted. All they could do is say no. All they can do is tell you where you can go and where you can what. Stick it. Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? But could you imagine if, some of you guys sent them emails just out of the blue? Such and such and Dr. such and such and such and such from such and such. On self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think the people today, I think we don't feel like we have the power.
Yeah.
right?
I concur with you.
I think we sit around and we say, man, did you hear about what those guys did with the mayor and all those guys, what they signed, the laws they enacted today? And we sit around and say, yeah, ain't nobody going to do nothing about it. And can't, I mean, right? And then, when we do protest, we're on Michigan Avenue or something like that. But we're not at the mayor's house. If your alderman voted and signed off for some nonsense, right?
Yeah.
It behooves the people. Somebody, a
Go
Mahdi.
Get in his face.
Yeah. Throw him out of office.
Well, first, get in his face and, let him know about this pleasure. And then I'm not talking about a protest. I'm talking about Silverback having a conversation.
Me personally, I'm beyond warnings. And if somebody signs something that's completely retarded for the people that voted them into office, that person has an agenda. I don't have time to talk about conspiracy this, conspiracy that. You cannot come back into this office. You're not welcome. And we let the city figure out what the city's going to do.
Yeah, well.
That is what the political process is all about. Otherwise, they just keep getting bags of money and you keep perpetuating the same system. I mean, if I'm going to the bank self and all everybody's doing is getting in my face and they're saying, you know what? We know you got a whole lot of money and we're watching you. We're all out here. No, by the time the people get together, listen, by the time it comes to that, it has to be known that they're not here for any talking or any warnings or anything of this nature. I'm not saying violence. I'm saying that you are no longer employed for us. And we're going to have an immediate election, and everybody can say, well, no. Well, then this office will be empty. Bruh, that's what it takes, man. Outside of, revolution, which we're not about. So, I mean, seriously. And it goes all the way up to the mayor, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I digress. I'm passionate about these local politics. So, since we are talking about big slavery, I did want to, throw out there, self-love, and I, at 9,000, you guys got to subscribe, man. Get people to subscribe. I mean, seriously.
Subscribe.
All right. When we get to 9,999 subscribers, we're going to spark a change. Initially we were looking at the macro, self-love and I, now we're looking at the micro. If we're about, local politics, then we're going to be about local politics. So we will spark change, and that change will be locally to the city of Chicago at 9,999 subscribers. Change starts.
The world.
Yeah. But it starts where? At the crib.
Yes.
Yeah.
With each of us at the crib. It
starts at the crib, man. We're looking way too far off, bro. Right? We got these juries, right? And then the in a criminal case, for instance, and then the pink, prosecutor, has to now explain their version of what this slang is and things of that nature, right? Well, by the time they have to explain it to these people, neither of them are our peers.
Right.
It could all be a fairy tale. This is why, we have to start being part of the process, people. It's not cool to get out of the jury pool. That's not cool. It's not cool. It's no longer acceptable.
We need a jury of our peers. So, I mean, most of the time it's us in these situations.
Correct.
And can't leave it to others to decide our
We
fate.
can't leave it to the KKK.
Man, to decide our fate.
We can't. We can't leave it to the KKK. Sit in there and listen to them give words, right? And this is something I want to say because, I reached out to Elijah. That's the revolutionary, bro. He's out there in Denver. I did an unauthorized video and hijacked his music and ran it on the Self-Love Show. But then, we reached out, to him and his people, and we're still reaching out, trying to close the deal. But we're looking to feature him. We love his spirit, but I say that to say, what were we talking about?
Something about got to be about tyranny. Oh, Chicago.
Well, I was tying it into something that they stand for.
Right.
It'll come to me. Yeah, it'll come to me. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, bro. Back to the show, and if it comes up, I'll definitely mention it. So, but big ups to Elijah and his family, and
Yes,
we'll reach out to you. We're busy, with this show today and tomorrow, but I'll definitely be reaching out to your mom, and we're looking forward to seeing where you guys are coming from and putting your message out, shining the light on your message. So
yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Man,
Impressed with their, the video. I was impressed.
Man, bro, have you seen Big Nick's latest video?
Nah, man, they keep playing games with the algorithm, man.
Oh, you're not getting the alerts?
Yeah, because I didn't see it, so.
Yeah, bro, yeah, hey, yeah, my wife don't get the alerts, you know what I mean? So,
They play dirty, boy.
Well, they said they're sorry. So, yeah. But yeah, we got a video from Big Nick, and big ups to Big Nick, South Florida. We use this under fair use, and he actually, came on the show and said it was okay for us to use this video. So we're gonna kind of run through itself, and I'll have you, forward it to certain points. Yeah, so you want to forward it kind of past where he's talking. I don't see a screen share. Pretty sure they're just looking at me, bro.
Hold on. What the?
Yeah, so this is talk about tyranny. Man. And this is in Jacksonville. So this is in Jayville. This is where
What's your name and your badge number?
Troy McNair Sr. and my Shep Marlin reside right now. Cut it down a little bit and forward it past Big Nick talking.
First Amendment, you ever heard of it?
All right.
We're going to be here and we appreciate his work. So without any further ado, check out the video.
Is that her gun or is it yours?
I don't even live here. I don't know whose gun it is. This is my
It's
first time hearing about it.
It's a little neon green pistol.
It's probably hers. She's probably allowed to have it. My sister's always walked the straight.
12 just parked in a
She doesn't
driveway.
have a record.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're wondering why.
And the lady came out and said, "Get off my property."
I'm trying to tell y'all. So
Yeah.
I'm over here pissed off because I'm the one that usually goes to jail. I'm the one that's usually in custody.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's like, oh shit,
Right.
That's me. But
Yeah.
she's not like that. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck y'all did to her.
Why are you here? Okay. And why are y'all smirking? Baby, back up.
Stop.
Hey, yo, he's stopping me!
What the?
So we
This
just
lady
can't
had
go
no
into your
record.
home. We can't go into your home
Oh
without
my
a warrant.
God.
So they're in your driveway, so
We can't go
sending
into your home
emails,
without a
writing a report. You tell them, man, get off my property. Now they running in your house and smashing your face into the ground and saying they saw a neon gun.
What?
No, ma'am. So man, she did that on the door. So I walk up to her. She runs from me. She slaps her fucking face in the door.
She slaps his face in the door. Look at him lying. He is trying to snatch her out of her house.
Yeah, because he has no right to go in there.
He has no right to even park there
Touch her.
to grab
Period.
her.
Don't pay another auto insurance bill before checking this out. I was just paying $163 a month.
Oh, man, she did that on the door. Slaps her fucking face in the door. Oh, man, she did that on the door.
He smashed her face in the ground, but he's lying and saying she smashed her own face in the door.
Wow, man, this is very disturbing.
Because he's so misogynistic and possibly racist that this lady can't tell him to move his car. But see, we got to move different.
Man, yeah.
We
do, so this doesn't happen.
Yeah, you say all that from inside the house with the door locked, with the camera rolling, and you're calling his supervisor.
What she throw on you? What did she throw on you? At no point in time did we ever punch, hit, strike, bite, nothing of her.
What?
You see him sitting there with all them tattoos, man. This dude's a Nazi, man.
Yeah.
In.
Oh.
In.
Did he just hit her head? One in?
Yes. And then somewhere in the video, we heard black women got the big,
What?
Yes. That was a little side banter. And these people still be having jobs and stuff, bro. And we just sit here and, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to incite a riot, but somebody's got to do something.
Yeah, man, because this is...
I mean, seriously.
This is very, very disturbing.
They're going to do this to the wrong woman, and they're going to have a problem on their hands.
Get her out.
It's her house.
Right.
Mad because I'm a black girl?
No, because you battered a law enforcement officer.
I battered
you kicked me.
I kicked you?
Yeah, you kicked me.
And thank God for these cameras, man, because they be putting whole cases on people over nonsense. It goes back to us being on the jury pool.
Oh, man.
And stop trying to think it's cool to get out of it.
Kick somebody else again.
Kick somebody else again. All the places to the park.
I'm appalled, man.
She kicked me when I was inside. Go somewhere. Unless you want to be a witness to it. You don't understand.
And no, you don't. And if you don't want to, if you continue to not want to help us, then we'll just put all that down too. Come on, brother, we'll go in there with you.
Put it all down, Goofy. Put it all down.
Bro, can y'all just wait till some more people get here? I don't want to go in there with y'all, if you don't mind. I'm sorry.
Brother, this has all been recorded the entire time. Nothing is going to happen to you.
It's all recorded.
But you have to understand, I'm scared.
Man, scared.
So, this was all backed up over here.
It's a 2331 on here. Is that what you need? Or you need the tag number? 2331.
So I backed into the driveway right here and started reading emails. So she comes out of the house, knocks on my window.
So
it says, "Sir,
you can't be doing that in the hood."
Why not?
You lighting her crib up.
I'm out of the roadway.
Sure, you can't have the police parked in your driveway.
Man,
you got
where they live at?
There's
For
no
sure.
Yeah, what are you doing? You lighting my crib up. They think I'm talking to you.
Yeah, that's...
And you should know that.
Right, man.
2331.
The reason why I sat here is because all this shit was backed up because of the crack.
And it wasn't backed up.
This crazy.
This guy was sitting right
He
here
was
the whole
stalking
time.
her. He's going to say something about fat wops or something.
I spent 25
Man,
years
this is
researching
very-
men living to 110 or
you can
120.
stop it.
I discovered
if anybody
one
wanna watch
food that these men
they
were
can catch that on Big Nick's South Florida channel. And get more into it.
That's really disturbing, man. Man, that's disturbing. I can't. What, broke a teeth out of mouth?
Yeah. And that's why her sister was like, wait, Now, if you were talking about me, like I can't see. I mean, that'd be like somebody telling you Jazzy, like you come home,
right,
and Jazzy's face is all busted up, and they're telling you that, you know, he smashed my face, and then he did. You know what I mean? You're sitting there like, wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because that's like, that's not Jazzy.
Man,
you know,
by any stretch of your imagination, Mr.
Man, that's not Jazzy, period, out there.
You know, now there needs to be legislation when they tell those lies, 12, and when they write those court documents and they lie in those police reports, it should be a felony.
It should be. It shouldn't be no immunity from that.
No.
It's
because from what you're writing, now the prosecutor is amped up.
Yeah.
Based upon this nonsense you're writing.
Nonsense. She kicked him and
she smashed her own face up against the door. He kept saying that. Unless you want to be a witness. See how he kept trying to intimidate people to it's awful, Self. I didn't want to run the whole video. Probably gonna ding us over at YouTube because they get off on dinging everybody. So check the chat, see if we got anything going on. And we dropped a link also because we're gonna get into big slavery. I've been rambling. So anything in there, so
yeah, so we got quite a few. Kramer said, "What's up, fellas?" Bernard, what's up?
Oh, what up, Kramer?
Ace, happy J5 regulars and happy New Year, whatever year it is. Oh yeah, it was 2021, not 2020.
What up, fool? Oh yeah, 2021. Yeah, y'all right. Well, I mean, good point. Whatever they say, according to the Mayans. Yeah, I got you though. Yeah.
Pat Pender said, "What up to B Kramer?" He said, "My man Pat, what up?" Wildebeest, You Dance Radio said, "Stop it, you cracking me up." I don't know what he's talking about. What date? Oh, okay.
Oh, because the year was off.
Yeah, 2020. Very comfortable. Somebody is listening. That's why it's not working. Okay, I guess he's talking about specific lines that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Daryl Smith said, "Happy J5, noobs." Same to you, Sans.
Man, what up, noob?
B. Kramer said, "Hell no, slavery wasn't and isn't a choice."
Oh, wow, he's emphatic. Sounds like somebody's gonna want to click that link. Hey, well, stand by. Hey, you guys, we're gonna have this link open in about 10 minutes, and we really want y'all to come on. We want to talk about it. Go ahead, Self. What else you got in there? Come on, slide through it. Come on, bro.
Yeah, we got I'm the Overseer, Happy J5, Udens Radio, slavery, or fight for the death. That's the choice. Baseball practice now can't join. Oh, that's why Ace say he can't join in that baseball practice. I said stick to. Wait a minute, he's going on. Yeah. All right,
that's pretty much it. Well, look, guys, I got a video that'll make y'all feel better. For all y'all. Self, you haven't seen it, so let's just go ahead and run it. It's a nice song, and big ups, small ups to the artists, the Pink Girls who made this. But this is for you, Self. You might be able to do something with this at DNA. Maybe y'all can call these girls out. Maybe they can sing some overlays or some what have you. You know what I mean?
I have a feeling about this.
I mean, enjoy.
Hey, it's Camille.
And Haley.
And we've just written a new song for our wonderful police. This is called
Back the Blue.
Yeah.
Brand new. Here we go.
I'm excited about this.
Who's gonna be there for you 24/7, even holidays? Our Minutemen up to date. Police departments take no breaks. Who's gonna stand for justice? Running toward the bullets when we call. They give their lives, risk it all, and we never know their names.
So my playlist. I like pull it up next to the guys.
Don't give up. It's time we defend and remind them we will always stand beside
Roll on the pop playing it.
you. We will back the blue.
pulled over.
Who are these men and women dressed up in the line of fire each day? Someone's dad,
Change the game.
someone's mom, someone's daughter, someone's son. What makes them fight for strangers? Holding up the laws that keep us safe, keeping peace in our streets. Always one phone call away. 911, it's an emergency. Wake up, they're fighting for you and for me. Don't give up. It's time we defend and remind them. We will pray and stand behind you. We will back the blue. My father always told me, show them respect.
That's
Look
right.
in their eyes, shake their hand,
Sir.
and say thank you. Thank you.
You paid my salary, officer.
Thank you for all that you've done. 911, it's an emergency. Wake up, they're fighting for you and for me. Don't give up. It's time we defend and remind them. We will always stand beside you. We will pray and stand behind you. We will back the blue. We will back the
Huh?
blue. We will
I'm
back
gonna pull up to your crib, Self, next time I'm in shy and be in a rental car.
Thank you so much.
Huh?
You know, I can't believe I let that play all the way through.
That's the spirit of Saint in you. Can you imagine?
Man. I can't believe I let that play all the way through.
Oh, come on. I mean, come on, Self. You can scratch that off your bucket list. You got to see two Karens play it all out there. Man, Self, I'll be pulled up at the
Shit.
lights.
Hold on, man. You Dance Radio said, black these blue balls. Said, you a fool. Pull up with this play.
Hey, I mean, I just thought that'd make everybody feel better. Now, you guys, please type in your commentary. We'll get to it as the show moves on. Please let us know. Thumbs that up, and you can go check it out yourself or thumb it down. I mean, we don't believe in censorship. So, every artist, as they are, deserves the right to speak their own truth unless you're a rapper, because now the courts have said that they can use rap music against you in a criminal case. But that's another show. Yeah. So here we go, Self. That link, you guys, there's a link in there.
It's at the top of the chat.
Yeah, it's at the top of the chat. I'll drop it back in there as well. But Self-Love, go ahead and run that next video in the series. And come on, the panel's going to open up. Let's talk big slavery. Big slavery.
Constitutional Conversations is a series of discussions by America's leading scholars about the principles, framing, ratification, and implementation of constitutional government in the United States. This series is hosted by the James Madison Memorial Fellowship Foundation of Alexandria, Virginia.
Look at him. He's a slave owner.
Many of the states had prohibited the African slave trade. In fact, it's an interesting observation that in 1763, with the end of the French and Indian War, it was much more likely that the foreign slave trade would be eliminated and perhaps even slavery abolished, much more likely than independence of the American colonies from Great Britain. There was a
how could you not laugh at this guy?
The elimination of the foreign slave trade.
Come on, Self.
It was so
I would pay him
that it was pretty easy to argue in favor of stopping that slave trade.
Speaking some good stuff on our behalf.
Bring free men, women, and children out of Africa and put them into slavery was just reprehensible, and everybody realized it.
Yeah.
just about everybody. You do get the beginnings of the positive good of slavery coming out
like his
at the
spirit,
time
though,
of the proposal of the Constitution. But the Federalist position would be that two states in particular, Georgia and South Carolina,
get a
who have
12-pack, drink a
indicated
12-pack
in
by
the
themselves, you'd be lucky to drink
Constitutional
2 out of
Convention
there.
that their states would not
You'd be talking
ratify
football.
the Constitution if Congress could prohibit the foreign slave trade. So there was a feeling we need those states to get the Constitution ratified. Federalists also used the argument that this was an improvement upon the Articles of Confederation, which had absolutely no power to regulate trade and no power to prohibit the African slave trade. Under the Constitution, after 1808, it was possible for Congress to prohibit the African slave trade. And it was expected that that would happen. Not guaranteed, but expected that would happen. In the northern states, there was also a Federalist argument that if you eliminate the African slave trade, which would be possible in 1808, that signaled the death of slavery. That would be the beginning of the end of slavery in the South.
J5, no.
And so this was, although it looked terrible on paper, that Congress was sanctioning the continued importation of slaves, there was a silver lining, so to speak, behind this, that perhaps this would be the end of slavery.
All right, wish I hadn't talked through it. Self, go ahead and stop that.
Constitutional conversation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, we talked through it because we've already seen them, and it's unfair to the viewers. I know, it's so unfair to the viewers.
I know, it's unfair.
Yeah, that's the kind of feedback we get. But before we get started, first off, yo, and happy J5 Noob. Man, J5 brought the whole thing alive, but it was F8 that made the whole thing great. You understand? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so now slavery. This is first off, this is Will Dunn, and he's going to be featured on here very shortly. We're going to do the house panel. He's a house head, and also he's an author.
I'm not a house head. Stop that.
All right. Well,
I'm
what
house.
are you?
Period. That house head stuff is that new millennial shit.
Is it?
Yeah, that's new. That's not real. That's not 85. That's not. We weren't calling ourselves house heads back then, but that's a different story.
So were we calling them house heads? I think we were calling people house heads.
No.
Maybe around,
the 90s.
Yeah.
No, not around me, you wasn't. Because I sure enough would have said something then.
All right. Well, respect to it. Nobody, means any disrespect. Self-love and we vibrate love. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking with you, man.
You've got a white Santa Claus beard. This guy's got a white Santa Claus beard. So can can you lower your chair or point the camera up a little higher? I feel like
cutting off half your head out there.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
That better?
Yeah. So here's the question, good brother, because the panel's probably like these guys. So the question is did slavery end? And if so, when?
Is that a question posed to me?
Yeah.
No, it's never.
And everyone, but to you. Go ahead, take that.
If you take a look at the 13th Amendment, it's still there. It's still there in the 13th Amendment. It states, we free unless you go to jail. It's clearly in the 13th Amendment. So slavery has not ended and will never end until we take that out of the Constitution of the United States of America.
Well, what about those who say, I've never been to jail? So what about, because then if a white person goes to jail, they're slaves too. So, I mean, we're talking chattel slavery.
The question was slavery. That it wasn't about who, it just said that slavery still exists. You didn't say who was, you just asked if slavery still exists. And I told you how and why it still exists, because it's still in the Constitution.
Okay. All right. Well, no, I mean, listen, it's not listen. Let me explain our framework. You've come on here before with this whole debate swagger.
Hey, who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
This isn't a debate show. You know, we'll go get the Christmas tree lighting up, and you know. But no, we love for you to speak your reality, and that's why you're here. And the only reason I asked that, bro, is because it sparks discussion. So let me narrow down the question: chattel slavery for foundational Black people, and I won't even just say, we'll just say here, because we can go all over the world with this, but just, I guess they say 300,000 Africans were brought particularly here, you know. So has that slavery ever ended?
And my answer again is no.
Because of the 13th Amendment.
Correct. Also, if you take a look at Dred Scott, it states in there that no white man has the right to respect the rights of any Black man here in America. They do not have to respect our rights at all. And that's, again, these are things that are laws. This is the Supreme Court. The highest court in this country has backed that fact. So until we start approaching it from that angle as well as other angles, it's always going to exist within this country itself until we eradicate it from the foundation in which this country is about. Dred Scott needs to be overturned. The 13th Amendment needs to be ratified, amended. When we start doing things like that within the actual backbone that these white folks go by, the law, that's what they live and die by, the law. You know, until we do that, it's always going to be here. As far as that type of chattel racism. And then once that's eradicated, then it's going to be classes based on money.
Okay, so before we get to the next video, because we want to save some of this, I love this. And then Bernard was going to jump in too. Where you at, Kramer? So if you want to maybe text him or something and see, because I know he was out there. Or maybe can we I'll drop the link in there. So the next thing is slavery. I'll say, was it a choice?
And again, my answer is yes, it was a choice. Choice was this: be a slave or fight to the death. That's your choice. That's a choice. I'm either still gonna let this white man keep beating me, and I'm gonna keep kowtowing to him, and I'm gonna keep letting him rape my woman, and I'm gonna keep telling him to take my children away from me. I'm gonna keep letting him do that, or I can say fuck it and go for his throat. That's one, and then die doing that. It was a sister that said one time in a conversation that the reason why they don't respect brothers is because brothers did not fight to the death. If they would have saw us fighting to the death for them, they would have followed us more instead of doing everything that the white man offers to them. Because now they see that their man is willing to die for them instead of watch them getting raped and doing absolutely nothing but saying, I'm so sorry. But how's she gonna look at me now when I can't even fight to the death for her? She's not even gonna respect me. They don't now. That's why they say God is like, we don't need no man. You don't need no man. What are you saying that for? You do need a man for everything. In order to create, you need man.
I tell you what, this guy, boy, he'll have the internet. This guy will have the internet just
look
all over this guy. Hey,
can
you get Bernard's mic on and camera and stuff?
I wanna say something about that video that y'all showed too, but then that's gonna really get us banned. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only one solution to all of this. And all this we shall overcome.
Well, hold your solutions. We're going to save that towards the end. Let's save the solutions, but please make sure you keep that in mind. I don't want you to forget, because that is something we're going to get into. Because so you hit ask to unmute. I did that. And then you click that 3 buttons, ask to start video, and I did that. So there he is there.
I had something different pop up, but okay.
You might want to take those glasses off so you can see, Noop.
Hey, this is the self-love vision. What you thought?
Hey, what's up, brother Kramer? You know, we had a disaster, man. All those videos got deleted, man. And so, yeah, my man.
Did you delete them or did the YouTube delete them?
I think it had to be my cat. My cat, they have remember my cat burned down our house down at school. You remember? And the cat used to pee. Yeah, I have a thing with cats, and then they always ruin my life. So it's just something,
We're talking about animals, cats?
Yes, animal cats. Yes, the felines. Yes. I'm
All
not
right,
going to break
it's a family show. Family show.
I'm not going to break the internet because Will Dunn already has. But brother Kramer, I want to ask you real quick. And so for y'all who don't know, this is Bernard Kramer. I will tell you guys to watch the live we did. He was in our Black Educator series. He stepped up. He was number 2. He's also an author, community activist as well. So has very great things to say. So we asked him to be a part of this panel tonight. And so the question we're asking everyone is slavery. Did it end? And if so, when?
Whew. Well, I'm gonna keep it relatively short, man. I'm worn out. And I'm even more exhausted with you telling me that 2.5-hour video is gone. That y'all jagged it off and it's never to be seen again.
Well, we didn't say all that. We got people working on it behind the scenes. But go ahead, bro. And my bad. So go ahead, bro.
No, it's all good. Definitely it's not over, man. And I guess to speak on the macro side, capitalism depends on slavery, on its economic system. Depends on exploitation, manipulation, stolen labor. And so when you talk about slavery, we're living under a palatable version of slavery. And the most intense version of slavery is a slavery where most of the people enslaved don't realize that they're enslaved. And so they're even more profitable because you're gonna work just as hard to try to be like the master, where there's no chance of being like the master, but you think you're working just to get compensated and just to consume. But you're literally fulfilling your role as a slave, which is why that gap continues to get bigger and bigger because we don't understand capitalism. A few people at the top accumulating all of this fiat, all of these resources, all of this earth, all this planet, and most of the people at the bottom are still fighting over the same crumbs. Like you're talking about black people, I mean, on the micro side, no, hell no, we ain't free. And like my man alluded to, the 13th Amendment, definitely. But you also throw in there the fact that we don't control our own affairs. So as grown men and women not controlling our own affairs, what part of freedom is that? You know what I mean? We're in literally every urban area in the United States, we're being gentrified right now. In every urban area, we have no control over the schools that educate our kids. Every urban area, black or white politicians literally work for the status quo, which is totally against us. And you already spoke to the incarceration. You talked about Flint, Michigan. But the reality of this country, I mean, is that poor white people are just as enslaved as us, if not more so, because this country needs to convince them that they're better than us in order to keep them enslaved. So they get targeted with the most intense propaganda. For Trump to convince them people that they should be in front of the White House fighting with conservatives who want to conserve what is and maintain what is, that's a hell of a lot of mind fucking right there. For them to think that they cool and that Trump is on their team.
Yeah, I know during that, man, and well said, bro. And I know during Reconstruction, as they called it, right after the Emancipation Proclamation, that became an issue of enforcement. And they were saying that whites were struggling in the South, especially right after that war, the Civil War or whatever. So like everybody was like struggling, and they said the black men, even in the North, had a saying though with those agreements because they ended up having wage agreements with the plantations. So you ended up working for the same plantation that you were just technically a slave under these terms that were just slavery, and so what they were saying is that if you and I were there during that times, we would be saying that this is no different. So what we had to accept was, hey, just keep that whip off of us. Right. So those were the kind of negotiations that we started having, kind of what you were saying about, do you know you're a slave, trying to please master, that mindset, just kind of taking what we can get. We've been conditioned to that since go.
Yep.
Take what you can get or die.
No argument there. And I guess the only difference between the major difference between the slavery, the chattel slavery, and I guess even years after that, if you talk about chain gangs and all of that business, is that we have the ability to consume now. So that's the biggest disguise. Not only the propaganda, but that ability to consume and pretend like we're free because of consumption capacity and access. I can take all of these lavish trips. I can consume whatever, so that makes me free. But if somebody can stamp out your job just like that, what kind of freedom is that? Like you can't eat, you can't live anywhere, you can't clothe yourself.
And what are you
without this
consuming?
job.
And if they can give you poison and by your zip
it all
code.
depends on what you're getting. Amen.
Man.
Amen. You preach. Look, I want to say on top of that, the other disguise will be the hand-selected niggas that they allow to represent us within their communities. You know?
Well, hold that real. I want you to finish. I had a thought of that today. It's fun. Thank you for bringing that up because those hand-selected ones used to be like, say, for instance, Jesse Jackson or certain, reverends or political figures. But it seems today that it became these YouTube figures, rappers. Yes, yes. So
entertainers.
Yes.
Hey, somebody got some playing in the background?
No, I don't.
That might be me, man.
Okay.
You had to put me on blast like that, dude.
I have no idea. I said somebody. You know what I mean?
It sounded like an attack. It's for
you put yourself on blast, my friend. You blasted yourself.
You know it ain't the two of y'all. My man sitting there quiet. I just go.
I knew who it was. I chose my words very carefully. I didn't say me.
What you got?
Got someone in the background. Cut off.
We're talking about big slavery, and y'all got me here happy. You know what I mean? And I guess
you can't do nothing but laugh at all this stupidity that's happening.
You really have to.
You have to.
What my man just said, because I ain't gonna stay long, and I've been on the Zoom for the last 4 hours. He just spoke to it. Like the nation of chattel slavery, you had the house Negroes, who basically provided that beacon of what the field Negroes could become if they worked just hard enough, if they pleased the master, and so everybody in the field wanted to be like that dude. And that dude, after a while, he had made so much, he had so many of master's clothes, he could drive master's carriage. He had access to master's clothes and food, all of that business. His interests were no longer the interests of the slaves or the slaves in the field. And so it's the exact same thing today. Nothing has changed. It's the exact same dynamic. We still want to be exactly like those that work for the master. You know what I mean? We want to be like them. We want to have what they have. And so they still provide them. They put them out there to elevate it and compensate it as beacons for us to achieve.
And that's our biggest anchor right there. That's always pulling us down because we want to be, not we. There are some out there that want to be just like them. They want to be the only black person in the room. They want to be the one that they get selected to be. Oh, this is the good nigga right here. They're not saying that no more. They're not saying that we're not actually on the slave auction blocks anymore, but they're actually picking and selecting the ones that they want to represent who we are, and they don't represent us at all.
Well, it goes into a consciousness when I would say, when someone would say, hey, when a pink person, not white people, pink people are different from white people. You're different, you seem smart and you're not like them. And we're not talking about you. And that it's a whole consciousness of like, I can be with the little homies, let's just say 10, 15 years ago, right? You might be with one of your little homies. And then whenever we get around white people, specifically white women, they started like carrying themselves different and holding the door for them. And I'm serious. And I'm like, what is that all about? And they would be like, man, because they're scared of us. And I'm like, well, you know what? So what?
That's their issue. That's not our issue. That's their issue.
Right.
That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
But it's something in us where, I'm not saying that, show them our lowest, but when are we going to stop, show them your best, so that they can see that you're not an ape. It's at some point. No, they have to show me their best so I can see that they're not Neanderthals.
And that's that part of oppression, man, and 400, 500 years of it. W.E.B. spoke to it, double consciousness theory. Where not only do we see ourselves through our eyes, but we see ourselves through the eyes of whites. and we overly concern ourselves with how they see us and how they perceive us.
So
that's kind of like a child and his parent. You know what I mean? Like you literally worried about. You're always concerned about how your parents see you. You're always living to please your parent.
You know,
it's
he's a whole
like
story
a
in itself.
Yeah,
W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, that's a whole.
We could do a whole show on him.
Definitely.
And his
But look,
relationship
fellas,
with Margaret Sanger.
Hey, respect. I'm gonna tune in, man. But I got to get something to eat, and I got to take my ass to sleep. I got a radio show in the morning at 8:00.
Hey, what's the show? Pitch it, man. Somebody might check it out or something, bro.
It's 95.1, man. It's a station coming out of shit. What did my guy tell me? I'll put it on the feed.
Yeah,
man.
put on
It's a
the
radio
comment
show.
or send it to me. I'll drop it in the comment, bro.
Will do.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man. Much respect, man. I appreciate the platform.
Absolutely.
Keep
Appreciate
doing what
you,
y'all
brother.
doing, man. How the hell can I just leave? I can just get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, we can get you out of there. Yeah, we'll get you out of there.
I love y'all, man.
I'm stuck. Somebody help me.
So you see how it says remove tour, you
Yeah.
click options. So here, I'll do it.
I don't see that.
That's all right. You it's all right, bro. You gotta take them glasses off, I'm telling you. All right, he's gone.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's run the next video and then we'll come back for some blah blah. You know what I mean?
Blah blah blah.
I like your background, bro. Can you break down what all that means?
I was told never to speak these words ever to anybody.
Hey, I was in the Earl B. Dickinson Memorial, and I saw that upstairs, and I asked, like, what does all that mean? He was just rolling.
Stupid. I'm confused. What does it mean?
Hey, I can ask.
Doesn't make any difference what
I can
else
ask,
you
right?
have. If you don't have some place to rest your head, you're in bad shape. Here in Harlem, the reason we say that housing is such a key problem, when you live in a poor neighborhood, you're living in an area where you have to have poor schools. When you have poor schools, you have poor teachers. When you have poor teachers, you get a poor education. And when you get a poor education, you are destined to be a poor man and a poor woman the rest of your life. Poor education, you can only work on a poor-paying job. And that poor-paying job enables you to live again in a poor neighborhood. So it's a very vicious cycle. And usually these bad housing conditions result from the fact, as Mr. Gray has pointed out, of absentee landlords, people who are rich and live downtown and let you and I live up here in the shack. Actually, it's a form of 20th century slavery.
Yeah, you hear that? So he was already talking about modern day slavery. Now,
60s.
Yeah, I'll say this, bro, brothers, that, you know, employment seems to be indentured servitude.
At best, you know what I mean?
At best, because it's no longer temporary. You know, Self-Love and I were discussing this. You know, back in the days, bro, like your parents, they got 5 to 10% interest. You know, my mom was telling me on their savings accounts. So imagine you're working at a job. There was actually a future in that. You're sticking your money in savings. It's earning interest and interest on top of that, you know, and you see growth. You know, you're working a job. Your wife is working a job. The kids get a job. They start early and there's growth. And there was like after 20, 30 years, I can start my own business or whatever, 20 years. It's never ending. Man. Today, and I don't care what you're doing for a living.
Well, let's touch on that you're talking about.
Yes.
About the way you said that mom and dad working just to save money, just to get that money to open up their own business.
Correct.
Well, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, a lot of people are somewhat confused, or I don't know what word I'm looking for, but they don't know what to actually put their finger on when they want to get quote unquote reparations. How do we get paid our reparations? Okay, let's start.
Yeah, I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
Let's go back, not way back, but
Take
just go
your time.
back. And right after World War II, every cracker, no matter what color he was, no matter what nationality he was, Polak, Italian, Jew, WASP, when them crackers, pink people, as you like to say, got through with World War II, the federal government gave each and every one of them an opportunity to either get a $10,000 loan to start a business, get $10,000 to buy property, or go to school for free. Now, based upon that $10,000 that they received back then, that's equivalent to today's $100,000, $90,000 today.
Right.
That money over that time that they've accumulated and invested in whatever it is, that $10,000 then has now grown for those white people to $500,000. Wealth right now is being passed down. Ain't nobody working. It's being passed down. And it's being passed down from that very first point.
You're right.
And because our Black uncles, grandfathers, great-grandfathers did not receive that same opportunity and compensation, that's the very first point in which you need to pay me. Cut my check because you didn't cut my check or give my grandfather the same opportunity you gave all these other cats after they fought for this country in World War II. That's step one.
That was one of the last things Dr. King said before he had a bullet sandwich. Go ahead with step two. We're listening. Unless, Self, you had something to add to that.
Nah, he was, you know.
Yeah, Dr. King said something extremely similar to that before he took a bullet sandwich.
And that's the sad part about it, because those are facts. And facts are going to get you killed in this country.
Yeah, buddy, we're on a live forum here, right? Everybody loves everybody.
Out there. Do not record this. Delete it.
I mean, you know, we get you though. I mean, we ask questions. That's one thing Self-Love and I do. We just ask questions.
And that's the thing. See, that's your first point right there. Stop figuring out. That's your money right there. That's your very first set of dollars. Is everything that was not given to our great-grandfathers and grandfathers when they came from World War II. The next step is back on dates. I don't have paper in front of me for dates, but
it's okay.
United States of America, back in 1850. We'll even it off. 1850.
Okay.
They said slavery is bad. Slavery is bad. Bad slavery.
They called it conscious.
We don't want no more slavery coming over. We don't want you bringing slaves over to the country no more.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't. But this is what we're going to do for you Southerners. We're going to say 1850. Again, I'm just throwing out dates. I don't know the real dates, but 1850 to 1858. We're going to give you 8 years to clean up your act. They ain't say you got to stop right now. We're going to give you some time. But guess what the United States government did with that?
What's that?
They taxed them. They got money off of every slave that still came over during that time period when they said it was illegal.
Let me say this real quick along those lines. Lloyd's of London, Self-Love,
man,
when they paid reparations, they paid the reparations to the slave owners.
Yes.
That's what I discovered, Will Dunn. Yes. So all the slave owners who had to give up that property that they paid for, they got repaired, bro.
And guess
the slaves.
Guess how long the repayment stopped in 2010.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes. Because but they sit here and tell us they don't have any money for us, bro. So yeah, I mean,
they sit here and tell us to pull ourselves up out of bootstraps when they ain't been doing nothing but sucking off the federal government's tit for as long as they've been in this country.
Sucking off the tit of everybody.
You know what I'm saying? But yet we got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps while y'all get handouts. The fuck out of here. Go somewhere. Man.
Well, this is why you won't get guys like this on the MSNBC panel, CNN panel, or Fox panel. No, seriously, he's got all the credentials.
I'm John Lemon there, guy.
Yeah, man, but these guys got the credentials. You know what I mean?
You know what the biggest credential is? No slight. They got a white woman or they gay.
This guy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, look, Self. All right. Well, we're gonna park it, and we're gonna hear your number 3. But Self, let's get the next video. And no, wait. Before we do that, let's check the chat. I mean, let's see what's going on. I normally I got the chat rats. You know, some chat rats. And Brother Pullen, you said you wanted to pull up, so let me see if I still got this link on my thing.
Yeah, you gotta understand. You know, and I wrote all this in my book too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta truly look America in her eye. One of the funniest things was I heard when the little Becky's was singing about blue people and they love the blue and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things that they said that their father taught them that we don't teach our kids, but I taught my son, is they said, if you listen to one of the lyrics in the line, it says, look them in the eye and shake their hands. One thing that our young Black youth do what they do is they run. Stop running. Stop turning your back on them. Look them in the face. And I know them crackers start to cower down. They don't have the balls to do something like that in front of your face. They feel empowered. Well, it's a whole different story about when you run. Because when you run, you can turn around with a weapon and shoot them. So they're afraid already. They already fearing for their lives. You know, just because we walked through, because they from Batavia or from McHenry County, and they coming into the city of Chicago, becoming police officers. Lombard, Bensonville.
Well, yeah, and then they're conditioned through the media because let me say this on 12's behalf. 12 is just, you're starting with 12, you're starting at the ass end of the KKK and American racism, So, starting with 12 is like, putting all the pressure on Pookie, for all the crimes that's going on in the community. And this is not taking nothing away from Pookie and Pookie's hand, in the crimes that's going on in the communities, nor is it taking nothing away from 12 and 12's hands and its tyranny. But at the same time, silence is violence. This brother's willing to speak out, put it all on the line. Self-Love and I have this show and this platform. We're able to, put it all out on the line. Our forefathers, well, the pink people's, some white, some pink people's forefathers were willing to put it all on the line when they went up against tyranny in Big England. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, common sense, big ups to Thomas Paine, will tell you, you got to speak up and you got to stand up. I mean, look at all these people behind us. Yeah.
Period.
Is that the Million Man March?
Yeah. Me and Self-Love are out there somewhere.
I was out there too. Black man.
Do we see you? I think we saw you out there.
It's a possibility.
Right there, Will. Yeah, because we ran into everybody. That was
I think we
saw ran into you Ace. We ran into Ace. Yep. We ran into Tupac. We did, real bro. Talk. Tupac walked right past us, man.
Yeah, I said, man, dude, look just like a little Tupac.
Nah. See, this pisses me off. He did not say that. I sat there and told Tory that's Tupac right there. Tory sat there and said, no, that isn't Tupac. He sat there and talked me down and said, plus Tupac is in jail. As Tupac walked past with the blunt in his ear, and then I got back in the hood, me and Tory got back in the hood, and this is the one guy who I trust his I'm serious. I put this on everything I love. It's the only reason I didn't chase Tupac down is because it was Tory telling me. It wasn't anyone else, Will. It was Tory telling me that it isn't Tupac, and Tory ended it with Tupac is in jail. So I thought about his logic. We get back to the crib, and the brothers was telling us, no, Pac had got out. And I looked at Tory, and I said, why do you think Pac signed that brick? Because Pac wanted to be at the Million Man March. Now, he sits here in 2021 and says, yeah, I looked at him and said, that's a little Tupac.
No,
that's the stuff that rubs me funny.
It shouldn't rub you funny because everything you said is fact and everything I said is fact.
Okay.
I said that looks. I said I look. You said, man, there's Tupac. I said, man, he does look like a little Tupac. And then he looked back. He looked back at us when you said that. He looked back, and then I said that, and he looked offended.
Because I was like, no, that's Pac. It wasn't no confirmation from you that looks like what is a little Tupac? Pac is little in itself.
I didn't know how little was he?
Until we saw him. How little would he?
Right,
I didn't know how little until we saw him.
But the point was, you ended it with he's in jail, and he was in jail before we left.
Right. And he was out. There it was him.
That's before we had all the internet. You know what I mean?
Right. It was him. So
all of that brother pulling. Hey, let's run the next video, you guys. Hey, to the people out there, I know y'all want to hear about big slavery, and rest in peace to Tupac. Man, I had a family meeting, bro, and come to find out, I might be related to the Shakurs.
And
was
him.
That's before we had all the internet. You know what I mean?
Right. It was him. So
Yeah.
that's
So
all of that.
brother pulling. Hey, Self, let's run the next video. You guys, hey.
Banks give you loans. Banks send you checklets you never use. Banks even text.
Uh-oh, watch out. What happened?
I think brother pulling somebody got echoing going on.
It is brother pulling.
All right, go ahead and roll the video. Brother pulling, we're not about to do this, man.
When your account is overdrawn. Banks are so important.
All of brother pulling. Hey, Self, let's run the next video. You guys. All right.
Banks give.
All right, brother pulling. We're not doing this.
We're rolling. Period.
Yeah.
And the thing is this: the people have to be willing to participate. The way that woman just stood there and said, "Your bank is responsible for this. Your bank is just." Guess what? If you felt so hard about your bank, snatch your money out that motherfucker.
Yep.
That's how you hurt a motherfucker.
Yep.
That's what my mama told me.
Yep.
She said, "You want to hurt a cracker? Hit him in his pockets."
Yeah, but you're talking about discipline. Wax on, wax off. I can't even get one of these kids to sit down and watch that movie. What was the name of that movie with wax on, wax off? Karate Kid. They won't even watch the original.
But there's a Netflix series I think that exists. It's in season 3. They'll probably sit down and watch that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, with these kids nowadays, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, God bless the kids.
But you can't blame no child. You know why? Because the child learns from you. That's what the child learns from. Child came into this world a blank ass chalkboard. Child didn't know to sit down and shit. Child didn't know to put spoon to mouth. Child had to be taught these things.
Well, bro, I'm glad you brought this up because you gave me another thought here before we move on, and I had another question for you and for the chat itself. We got to check the chat. Now, what would you say? Now, you know there was a shooting, a murder.
I just want to say this. Before you start. I miss these type of conversations because we used to do this shit down
Mute him. Self. Mute him.
Oh, no. You're about to get
mute him.
You're about to treat me like Jew.
You know, I'm not going to make you host Self if you can't figure out, it's pointless. It's pointless. You muted yourself.
I know.
Hover over his square. There's some icons that are going to come up for the love of God.
I just said I miss these type of conversations. That's it. And you was going to be able to take it from there.
Yeah, but how do you stop the conversation to say, I miss these conversations? Now I lost my train of thought. Lost where I was going.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You're old now.
And this guy, I've made him host. He hasn't executed one feature of host.
Nothing is,
nothing's what?
That you're saying over his box, and there's no way.
We'll go down to the participants, and then then there's another option. You click on participants, and his name should come up, and then
I'm gonna help you out here. I'm muting myself.
No, you don't have to mute yourself, bro. What point was I making? See, this is you know what I mean. But yeah, I miss these conversations too, bro. Yeah, I'm glad we got that out there. But it was something, man. What were you just saying, Noop? You were saying, let's get brother pulling in here.
Kids. You was talking about the kids. And
yes. What would you say? Yes. Thank you, Noop. What would you say? Okay. So the fire, you heard about the carjacking and the fireman, rest his soul, condolences to his family, and now they're rounding up all those kids, who were responsible for the carjacking. Okay. But now,
what is this? Is this some new thing?
No, this happened in Chicago.
I'm not privy to it.
All right. So maybe about 3 weeks ago, there was a guy coming out of, it wasn't Garrett's Popcorn. It was, I think it was, what was the name of the spot? Well, it was a popcorn spot, gourmet popcorn spot.
Yeah.
And, 3 or 4, I don't know, 2 guys jumped out of a car and they walked up on him to carjack him. And he pulled out his gun. He wasn't in his car yet. He pulled out his gun and started shooting. And they were shooting. And he hit one of them, I think, and he got killed. So now the feds got involved and found the kids. And so, these were like teens, 16, 17, 15. So what do you say to the school of thought, lock their mamas up and their grandmamas up? Because maybe that'll be a deterrent to keep these kids who you're going to try as an adult. You're going to try them as an adult anyway. And then you're going to turn around and lock their mamas up, not their daddies, but their mamas, and potentially their grandmama's up. What would you say to a person who has that kind of mind frame?
Well, to each his own. Your free thought. You can
Correct.
think what you want, and you can do what you want.
Correct.
But you and I both know that it takes a village to raise a child. Okay. You and I both know that we can teach our children what we want, but once they go outside the door and get around the surroundings that they're around, they can be succumb to that. Even though we may teach them the best thing in life, they still may succumb to peer pressure. And you and I both know that exists, and we've seen guys succumb to peer pressure and do shit just because they was trying to impress another motherfucker. Okay? The thing is this, a deterrent of locking up the parents for those responsibilities.
The mother and the grandmother. I said nothing about the parents. I said locking up their mamas and their grandmamas because they're single moms raising these kids.
Okay, so that's why there is no dad.
You're right.
And that's why the child is wayward anywhere, because dad's not there. So because of that, sure, why not? Go for it. Lock them up. Lock them up. Because they are a direct product of what they raised.
Okay. So where would it stop? So you're gonna lock the grandma? Are we gonna dig up the great grandmother and exhume the body?
No. Now what we do?
No, I mean seriously. How is this beneficial for the black community?
This is what
to
I'm
lock
saying.
up to start locking up black women. And you just said that the men aren't in the picture.
Yes,
why can't you as a black man say, "No, we're not going to debate, but I'm going to get this out"? Why wouldn't you at least say lock their deadbeat daddies up as a black man? But you're sitting here. No, hold on, because this is white supremacy, and I'm not going to have it.
Okay.
So we're saying that. Let me speak, and I'm gonna let you finish. Let me speak, and I'm gonna let you finish.
Go ahead.
So we're suggesting that these black kids, for whatever reason, they go out and do dumb stuff. These teenagers, we're going to try them, as we just said, the 13th Amendment is slavery. But we're going to sit here and perpetuate nonsense of locking up the grandmother, who all she's trying to do is help keep these kids out of the foster system because the mom might be on crack or whatever. And the father ain't in the picture. So we're going to literally, as black men, entertain this, because if we're entertaining this as black men, guess what? I'm out of the movement. I'm out of the movement. I will stack my money. I swear to God. No, I swear to God. If we are entertaining this as black men, I am out of the movement, and I'm all about me, myself, and I. Go ahead, self-love.
No, this is that's
not sit here and perpetuate this.
Yeah, it's absolute crapulous. To say lock up the mamas, because then that's all you're doing is throwing them to the children to the wolves. They are.
What about the other kids? That mama's probably got 4 or 5 kids.
They getting locked up. They getting locked up already right now because they done already shot and killed somebody.
Well, they parents ain't. They parents are not responsible.
Do you understand?
If the parents are responsible, then why are you trying them as adults?
Hold on. I'll prove something to you. Will, I'll prove something to you.
Go ahead.
How old was you when you was at the music box?
16.
Okay. Did your mama know that?
When I was going, first time I went, she did not know where I was at, but
it don't matter if she knew or not.
I'm just saying
he gonna go anyway,
right? Because she control you to go or not go. It was a line of questioning.
Did I not open?
Hold it, Tori. We're gonna add to that. So now, not only are we locking his mama up for that truancy, we're gonna lock his grandmama up. No, go get the grandmama too, because the grandmama raised them. This is complete total buffoonery.
Did you not hear me open with that? I opened and said, the situation that you and I both know about motherfuckers succumbing to peer pressure. I said that. I know that.
Okay.
I said that.
And then you said,
then
you close it out by saying you're okay with locking up the mothers and the big mama. So all these other kids, hold it. Let's stop. So now, Tori, what is the community willing to do? So now this mother and this big mama is gone, right? They locked up. The minor has been treated as an adult. So he's treated as an adult. The adults are treated as an adult. We're just locking niggas up and we okay with it after we preach some crap about the 13th Amendment. So we keep locking niggas up, and now we locking the women up. So now those women got other kids. Guess what those kids might get into? And we never said nothing about the daddies. Never said nothing about the daddies.
You never even had the opportunity to sit up there and say that we need to do something about the next generation. That's what we're focusing on right now. We need to be focusing on everything 500. We can't. Look, the society is bringing up kids for WAP. You got 2- and 3-year-old babies whopping. I'm talking about that damn disgustingness. The whole society right now that they're portraying black people to go towards.
Tori, do you know how his parents' generations felt about house music?
Man,
compared to the gospel music they grew up on, and how they thought it was satanic and all. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Do you not know what house music is? Guess what?
No. Does that mean that their parents did something wrong?
No, where you're wrong at is the fact is the house music I listened to was nothing but the extension of the music my parents were already listening to. You got to understand, house music was disco. House music was R&B dance music. It wasn't nothing satanic about house music.
Well, you would say that, but they're not playing it. They're not playing house music in any churches or anything like that. You can't say.
How are the OJs satanic? How are the fucking Shy satanic? How's James Brown satanic?
I'm not
saying Michael Jackson satanic. How is Quincy Jones satanic? How are any of these things satanic as far as you're doing that a little bit?
Are you serious?
Yeah, because you're doing this. You're traveling the slippery slope. He is.
Is he serious?
Yeah, you traveling the slippery slope.
I'm talking about the music we're listening to wasn't like the devil, kill, rape. It wasn't that. It wasn't no music like that even existed in my presence through my life.
But in their ears, it was similar. It was a slope. You understand? It's a slope. It's a process of every generation, and we're all guilty. We're all guilty. We're all guilty. We're all guilty.
Or we'll take house music out of it because you're sensitive about it. And can't see the truth in it. But he's not a house every new genre. When rap came in, people didn't like it. They thought it was satanic.
Rap, they were actually talking about calling women bitches and hoes out loud. And house music, and back in the day, they wasn't saying that stuff about women, man.
Bro, if a black man can say he's okay with locking up mothers and grandmothers for stuff that their juvenile boys have done or juvenile child. Listen, I'm out of the movement, bro. I'm through messing with y'all, man. This is how serious I am. No.
You didn't even hear me open. I see you weren't even listening. You didn't listen to a word.
I heard all of that. Please stop repeating it. Please stop repeating it. I heard that.
You said it. We all heard it.
We heard it. We heard it. You said it twice. You said it twice.
Right.
No need to keep repeating it.
Also said.
Yeah.
And I also said that if she's responsible for making sure that child is brought up like that, she ain't did her job and helping to direct that child in a whole new direction.
Tori, I would halfway listen to this if he would have said, lock the daddies up too.
Where are the daddies?
Be so flabbergasted.
Where are the daddies? So give me where the daddies are. Guess where the daddies are? They already locked up.
Okay. And why are they locked up? Because of their mothers and their grandmothers, right? According to you and your logic.
Most
right? According to you and their logic.
Most men locked up over a woman anyway.
Now it's not good enough to have black men. Now it's not good enough to fill these prisons with young black men. Now we got to start filling up with their mothers and grandmothers.
I wish this shit would work.
They're animals. Lock them up.
I wish this would work.
So
just put them right into slavery, huh? That you admitted that.
Sit him right there.
Mute him out there. I wish I could.
What do you mean you wish you could?
I'm telling you, it's not
all right.
allowing me to do the shit.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted. It's all you, brother Pullen. First off, happy J5 to you, bro. Happy J5.
And you brothers out there, happy J5.
What's up, bro? So we want to ask you, is slavery over? And if it is over, when did it end, in your opinion?
You know, I think we got to end it mentally within ourselves. You know, other than that, you know, everybody is enslaved to something. in terms of African American experiences, you know, it's a different slavery that, you know, we've been presented with. But I think it's a mind issue if you want to free yourself from slavery.
So you could have been on the plantation, and as long as you didn't think you were a slave, you're not a slave. Because when people say that, I know it's extreme where I'm going with it, but I mean, people say, you know, it's you are what you think you are. So I could have just put on a 3-piece suit, right? Walked around next to master, got me a horse. I'm not a slave, right? Is that it?
Oh no, I would have been a slave. You know, I would have tried to free myself mentally in that slave situation. But unless you fight to the death, you know, you gotta take what you're given.
That's what Big Will 2 Hype said in the start of the show.
Yeah, I was listening to him, you know. Brother Will Dunn, you my favorite brother I haven't met.
It's a pleasure meeting you, man. Pleasure meeting you.
This brother's animated, man. He stayed in the New House after they shut down their O.B. Dickinson crib. This brother came and stayed with us at the crib over there. Well, it wasn't a whole Kappa house though. We had we had some GDIs and regulators, but it was love, man.
It was love.
Yeah.
Man, we had a blast in there, man.
Man, we had a blast. And Will Dunn, man, he came like he anchored, he helped anchor the chapter, man, and during some topsy-turvy times, boy.
Oh, man.
Boy. Spruce Up Crew used to move through, but we can't talk about it. And he's got that thing up behind him too. So, yeah. So, yeah, man. So, okay. So you said, slavery is still going on. Now we're going to run a video and I want y'all to start thinking solutions. And but Self, anything in that chat? Because this Will Dunn's trying to kill the internet. This guy, YouTube's going to be emailing me like, wait, what happened? Who said what?
What did he do?
Right.
Jay Grilla said, peace, fellas. Great convo.
Yeah.
Kramer said, thanks again, y'all. Much love. Radio show info below, which it is. And that's all that's new in the chat.
Okay, that's what's up. So, Self, don't we got another video? We want to run this video, and I want to ask y'all some more questions. We want to get into solutions. And Brother Pullen, I'm glad you figured out how to cut the show off when you come on, man. I mean, geez.
Somebody must have did it for me. I can't take credit on that.
We need to hear these hard truths.
Enslavement.
Hold on. I sent them to him. I was like, God, cut off it.
I saw the text. I was
but I thought he figured it out from that. That's
somebody did it for him.
Yeah, so that's even better.
All right,
Make
so
sure
is
you know what's going on
in Britain.
The spooks love sometime myself.
Rolling.
Rape, torture, working to death.
We've convinced ourselves that we are the only nation in the whole of history who's only ever done good.
My opinion is based on reading and learning all of these facts, and that's not right.
The legacies of the past have shaped our society.
This blew my mind, dude.
Really did.
For more than a century, Britain was the chief slave trading nation in the Atlantic world.
British ships traded about 3.25 million people across the Atlantic Ocean.
So what happened to those people? Enslavement, rape, torture, working to death.
It's hard to imagine the empire's economy without slavery, without the slave trade. And it's not just because the slave trade was particularly profitable, it's that it provided the labor in the Americas that made everything else possible.
I feel you,
the period where sugar, for instance, goes from being a luxury to being something that everybody was using every day. Cotton, which was grown by enslaved people, was fundamental to the Industrial Revolution in Britain. So it's absolutely transformative for
it would have had to be mass suicide, really, because they're going to torture you, make a mockery out of you. Everybody would have just had to kill themselves.
Right, everybody just going to have to go for it. No, I ain't going to kill myself.
Britain legislated to end the slave trade in 1807, and that
But
came
you got to have a way to
into force
finish
in
yourself. You can't get
1808,
captured, is what I'm
but
saying. You
didn't
can't get captured.
outlaw slavery itself in its own colonies until
You can't get captured.
1833, and that
They was
act
torturing.
didn't really
Boy,
fully
they're
go
gonna
into
make a
force
sample
until
out of you.
1838.
We're heralded with these ideas that Wilberforce rolled into Parliament and fought, and
at the end of that torture, I was gonna wind up dead.
Incidents before
my mission was
led to that.
Yeah.
And they were led by people of colour. And we look at people like Equiano. Then
I'm dead now.
you realise that it wasn't just one person saying
my choice.
They mess around, not kill you. Leave you chained up in a dungeon. Now look at you.
It came to an end in a process that led to a lot of British self-congratulation, and very rapidly a story was created that emphasised British abolition and not British responsibility.
We use history to make ourselves feel good about ourselves. History is a place we go for recreation, not to ask difficult questions. And what that means is if history is a place of comfort, you need to remove from it all of the facts, all of the episodes that are uncomfortable, that are discomforting.
The curriculum tends to focus only on quite narrow parts of this history. So I think a lot of children in our schools are learning about the trade
right there,
and
you can just grab him by his neck,
people,
can't you?
the
Just
Atlantic
grab him by his
slave
neck
trade.
right there, right where.
But they tend not to learn about slavery itself, and certainly not slavery in the British colonies.
When I looked at it as a graduate student in England, you could not get a room full of people together to talk about these subjects. It was just not something that was taught even at the university level on a very regular basis.
My opinion is based on reading and learning all of these facts, which came after
Cut it
my,
down a little
my
bit so he
formal
doesn't
education.
feel the need to yell. So,
and that's not right.
That's just me being loud.
well, it's all good. We're here to host you.
Me being animated.
The legacies of the past are actually have shaped our society, and discrimination is present in all industries.
Even though I hear what you're saying, don't think that didn't happen.
And I think very worrying.
No, I know that. No, I know. It did happen.
Yeah, it did happen.
They made that choice. So that's why when I hear motherfuckers talk about it wasn't a choice. No, dumbass, it was. It was that or that.
It means
That's
the history of the horrific.
But see, Will, how you roll is a little different. I done messed around and laid down there in the bottom and built to the slave ship just to see where's this going.
If we're always
I'd have got on that. Hey, they'd have made me. I'd have made it all the way up to Uncle Tom, full-fledged Uncle Tom. And by the time I got a hold of them, it was a whole family, all of them, the whole lineage.
We are the
You know,
only nation.
He's the right way to do it, right?
They'd had me over in Africa reading The Art of War. You know what I mean? I'm going with the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Man, but I hear you though. See, you're more of a brute. You remember we used to talk about this in college.
Yes.
You know? You know what I mean? Yeah, you brutes will get us all slaughtered and locked up. You know what I mean?
No, they'll just kill us off because y'all are still here.
Yeah, we just need you cats for security. That's what we need the brutes for.
That's it. And we're willing to die for it.
Exactly. So
I guess we can stop sharing it right at the end, and
Yeah, he's got a curl. He's got an interesting hairstyle.
He looked very different, didn't he?
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when you said, "Does he have a curl?" It's like, okay.
Yeah, but it was a lot of stuff going on in Britain that I just quite frankly, kind of got swept under the rug.
Oh yeah, all of it. Shit. They did it to their people. Their own people didn't know. That's what they were like appalled about. Like it was one guy, like he didn't learn about none of it until after he finished school. All of it.
And they used the United States as the fall boy for slavery.
Yeah.
You just see the millions of people Britain was shipping around the world, and
they shipped the most around.
Yeah.
But teach their population that they ain't done none of it.
Exactly, because they stopped, and then they said it, and they were saying it like they stopped, but they wrote the history like they were heroes.
Yes.
But what they were saying in that video, Will, is that it was the brothers. It was the brothers that was insurrections. It was black people of political thought. It was all that going on that made Great Britain say, hey, let's go ahead and end this. This is inhumane. But the way they wrote the history is they were conscious to write the history to say, we're Britain. We were ahead of everybody. We were ahead of the curve. The exact same people who manufactured it, taught it.
We've never done anything wrong.
But in essence, it's what everybody does. It's called propaganda.
Yes.
You gotta. If I'm in charge and I'm writing a story, I'm not about to write something bad about me. Why would I do that? Why would I tell my bad faults to the world? I'm gonna tell how great I am. I'm the greatest man walking the face of the earth. I've never done anything wrong. Anything I've ever done has always been for the greater of mankind.
But those are the greatest stories, Snoop. You know what I mean? The people who let it all hang out, so to speak. Those are the ones.
But again, it's propaganda. I never forget. It's so funny when I hear the United States news media use the word propaganda. I'm like, y'all a joke. Are you serious? Y'all had the same talking points on all different channels saying the same exact thing that they tell you to put out there to say across the country. So you gonna tell me y'all not propaganda? Please. Man, it's all propaganda, man. We all know the truth. And just because we know the truth, it ain't gonna never do nothing because propaganda exists. We and you are the ones, as well as a few of us, understand the true meaning of what's going on. While the rest of propagandized out there are not going to believe it until they get out of college and learn it on their own. Because they are going to do what they are told to do. Those people exist. This ain't that network.
I'm still looking at them side-eyed, talking about locking up black mothers and grandmothers. The stuff little Pookie's doing. I mean, all of this other stuff is.
I was having fun with
man.
Anyway,
man, listen.
I was making good content for you. That's what you need. You need other side of thinking to try and make a good debate, so you can be able to have great ratings.
A debate.
It's all television. This is all this is. This is all propaganda. This is our propaganda. This is us telling people.
The self-love show is not a debate show. So, we won't be doing the debate. And also, I've discovered in my mind that I'm not co-host. We set co-host before we had to lead a meeting and come back in.
Well, see, now that makes sense because I'm sitting there like, what is going on with this?
Right, because man, I'm like, and I forgot that happened, but I should have remembered because the sound wasn't on.
We should have remembered. In that case, let me apologize to Self-Love and the Self-Love Nation. You guys don't know these live shows. Y'all think, we make it look so easy, because we're both so cold, So, but solutions though, we'll start with Brother Pullen. Brother Pullen, so you're saying that slavery is a big mindset, right? All we got to do is wake up, right? I'm not a slave. And there's something to be said to that. I'm sure Nat Turner at some point said, you know what? Enough of this. Sojourner Truth. We had other people. There was uprisings in Haiti. I guess it does start with a mindset that I am not what these people say I am. I am not their mule. I am not their, beast of burden. So that being said, let's talk solutions. And I know Brother Will wanted to get into it, but go ahead, Brother Pullen. What's your solution? What would you tell your family, your kids, your community?
Well, I would say, it's a matter of coming together. When we were slaves, then, we had to find a way to beat slavery other than fighting to the death.
Mm-hmm.
And now, it's a matter of beating how they're enslaving us financially and economically in a number of different ways other than just mentally. But coming together, investing in our own education systems, our own businesses, our own economic structure that can, help support us as, a Black or African American community.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. We're going to throw it to Brother Will to ask the same thing. I know you were going into solutions, and also you were making some points. You were at point 2, Will, and then so you were going to go to point 3, and I was like, man, I don't think I ever let you close that out. And then also solutions.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
I know. Nice.
Solutions. There's some drastic solutions that need to happen. We need to come together as a community. But the thing is this, so many people have so many different beliefs. How do we create that one homogenous community? That's the hard. That's one of the hardest parts. How do we, as people with the same type of obstacles, come together to overcome those obstacles? What do we have in common? What do we use to have us all feel the same about something? You know what I'm saying? Because we can't feel the same about religion because we all got different gods. You know, we can't feel the same about fraternities. We in different fraternities and stuff. We can't all feel the same about education. Some of us have it, some of us don't. We can't feel the same about incomes because some people have money and some people don't. What do we have that's in common for all of us to come together? Or do we just create our own type of community, which again, all communities have to start off and it will always be based upon money. Capitalistic society we live in. We find our community and we find the top 2% earners. Those top 2% earners, just like the top 2% that exist in their community, we take those top 2% and they finance everything. Now, because they finance everything, they finance now our new form of our own propaganda.
So you're talking to Jay-Z's, the Beyonce's, the
No. I'm not talking them at all because they're on the other side of the chessboard already. They're not with us. Okay. We can't take right now. We can't utilize anyone that's currently within the system because they're in the system.
So we need a black Donald Trump type.
I don't know about Donald Trump type. I'm not going as far as to say that. But
I say that because you say his name and then people lose thought of.
We need someone, the top 2% earners within our own community that we separate from them. They now take care of all the media. We get our own black television station. We don't get our own black radio station or whatever, in which we spread our type of propaganda out. What is our propaganda? Well, I don't know. Be an upstanding citizen. Get an education. I don't know what the consensus will be, right? Because you may feel like education is not it. I would agree.
Education is.
But again, this is our own educational system that we're now creating. Yes. We're creating this within our own community.
You mean like your own constitution?
Well, okay, you can say our own bylaws. And I'm not going to go as far as saying our own constitution because then now everybody's talk stupid stuff.
Because
now you're becoming a nation.
It's conditioning. It's that slave mentality. He can't say his own constitution. He doesn't realize that they stole the framework of the Constitution from his ancestors.
Well, let me put it to you like this.
He knows it, but he can't. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, self? He probably closes his eyes and Jesus is still white.
Oh my God. How dare you
still pink.
Like that?
Side is gray.
You know what?
Smelling like milk.
Side is gray.
Yeah, breath smells like old milk.
We can only talk to him like this because we go way back.
I look at that screen right there and I see nothing but gods on this goddamn screen.
Like
don't do that to me.
That's true.
Come on now. I don't see nothing but gods on this screen, so don't do me like that.
Facts. Nothing
but
gods.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. So anyway, so now we got our own type of
physical.
Now we need to create some type of businesses that we have, create our own grocery stores, create our own transportation. Grocery store alone is going to get jobs within the community themselves.
This is true.
So now we're going to help and we're going to start now providing jobs to these people as a result of the top 2% having the money. And we'll get our own politicians because, again, politicians are paid for. Don't be fooled by the fact Now we're going to have our own politicians that's there on Pill Hill or whatever city council or whatever else fighting for our laws that we want passed within these United States of America. Right now, we have taxpayers without representation.
Would they be fighting for the top 2% or would they be fighting for all of us?
Well, see, again, we the people will be knowing that, again, we're only putting people that's in our top 2% based on the same beliefs that we already have. We're not picking.
I love the spirit. I love the spirit. And listen, I mean, it's something. It's some actionable items in there.
Yeah.
You know, I would say, I would take it a step further. What I've been seeing, bro, is, again, I think all of us as a nation, all around the world, we're always just thinking so macro. And I don't think nobody else really does that. Even pink and white people, you know, they'll be thinking, even though it's a Western concept and this and that, but they'll be like, oh no, those are the Russians. And they'll be like, you know, it's an that, and those are the French. They'll think, you know, they'll be like, no, we're up in Pennsylvania and we need, you know, steel mills working. You know what I mean? And I think that's where we get lost because we're always caught up on some generic macro goal that may honestly be different depending on the region of this vast country that you live in and the things that you're dealing with.
Amen. I mean, again, that's what I said. We can't even come together. You just brought up that regionally. We're different people.
Correct.
What is that common denominator that we have? What is it? We got to figure out what that is. Because we got to come together, man. We got to come together. And
I would say reparations.
Yeah, reparations.
Reparations.
Wait, okay. But
should be the common denominator.
Okay, I'm just being devil's advocate here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So then, okay, based on reparations. So where we get the reparations from? Are you going to include Africans that came over here as immigrants as part of reparations because they was Africans too? You know.
Wait, hold on. Listen. Now, that's one question.
It's one question.
First of all, I'm not paying it, but now if the pink people want to pay them, fine. All right. Now, if they want to say we're not paying all these Africans and all these other people, fine. I'm here for reparations of the foundational Black people in the United States, the descendants of those 300,000 or so, it's probably more like 500,000 that came over here and were brought over here and were prisoners of war and were slaves and built this country, worked the tobacco, worked the sugar, worked the cotton, and just kept doing it even after the Civil War. Built this country, built England. This is what I'm talking about.
Fuck you, pay me. I want my money.
Yes.
What I want those African motherfuckers that wasn't here while none of slavery. I want you cutting in on none of my money at all. Because that means my check's getting smaller because you got to get actually inside of it. So I want all the money. I don't want none of these motherfuckers. If your people ain't been here and your people didn't serve in no wars in this country, if your people didn't die on this fucking soil in this country, if your people didn't sweat and make this country, you don't get paid. You don't get a dime. Nothing.
Well, again, I'm not writing the checks. Right. You know what I mean? But here's what I'm saying. It's been like Bob Johnson, Beta Noob. He's done some numbers. You know, he's crunched some figures. I thought his figures were low, but it came back for the foundational Black folks. It was like $350,000. All right. I even say, you know, now one of my blood brothers, you know, family brothers, he kind of disagrees with it. I say you can do it over a 10-year annuity. We got the money, man. That would help our community. So $35,000 a year. You do the math. That's about 3 extra stacks a month. I mean, you're shaking your head no, but
did you hear what I said back in 1940 with the GI Bill? These cats got that $10,000 back then. Okay. Now, whatever investments and whatever it has grown to $500,000. I'm saying everyone is due $500,000 that grandfathers have been in that.
All right. Well, you know, $500,000. Surely I'm not going to argue about, you know, 350 grand. You're talking about more money. You're not going to get that argument from me. So we'll say, well, we could say $1 billion, $1 trillion, but we'll just say half. We'll just say, but let's just say $500,000 then. It's easier numbers. Right. So that's 50,000 a year, and I'm talking tax free, right? Because it would make no sense to pay tax on
my money up front. Don't be doing no spread out nothing.
No.
Give me my
cash. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like the lottery. If you want it all up front, you get 250 grand. If you want to be patient, because we're not giving all you pookies money, so you can run out in the streets and buy gold teeth.
But wait, wasn't you the one that was worried that just said you didn't care because you're not cutting the check?
Well, we have to build.
No.
Listen. We're nation building.
Cutting the check. You shouldn't care if they give everybody $500,000 because you're not cutting the check.
I don't.
You should not.
I don't care
to give us some type of payment plan because you.
Okay. Beyond him not caring. Okay.
Right. Okay. So you've made that point. Thank you. Because he's just going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. You've made your point, right? We can't hear you. We can't read lips. Now, so allow him to unmute when he's ready now. Just give him the option. Bro, listen to what I'm saying. Listen. Just listen. All right? What I'm saying is, you have to give these people options. I'm not negotiating with you. I'm negotiating on your behalf with pink people. I've thought this through. I'm not just sitting here blabbing. All right. We've done a whole show on reparations. All right. I've thought this through, bro. I've made a lifetime collecting debt. This is my lifetime and dealing with these people, working for these banks on the other end. All right. You know how they do the lottery. Okay. Listen to what I'm saying. We're trying to use the foot in the door method. We're going from, I'm not paying y'all nothing to, okay, listen, we can break it down. For all those people who want the money up front, do it like the lottery. Do it like the state lottery. Take half your money and we're going to get rich off of you. For those other people who are willing, because it's going to take a while to build a nation, bro. It takes a while. Money ain't just the answer. So if you've seen it. You can't just go to O Block right now and just drop off bags of money. That's not going to fix a nation. No. So we'll be getting ourselves in position over the time period. We'll be getting ourselves in position over time, bro. Now, here's the question. When do you stop making the payments? What if somebody's pregnant right now? Does that kid get the money? See, that's where you get into philosophical questions. Right? You didn't ask him to unmute yet, so?
No, I'm unmuted.
He's unmuted.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you the flow. I'm yielding. I'm listening to you talk.
All right. So, yeah. So anybody got anything to say? Self?
Yeah, it's a delicate thing. We need this for all of the people that were enslaved here, the ones that were brought over here and the ones who were converted that was already here. And they need to cut the crap and cut the check.
Bro, we're not just building the United States government. We're building these corporations. We're building the Lord's London.
These banks.
Yes. That's what we're doing. But again, I feel strongly that part of the pitch is, look, a fool and his money. Look, y'all own everything. This can finally, heal the ill. It's atonement. Farrakhan talked about it at the Million Man March. It's one thing for me to throw a brick through your window, Brother Will, and I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there telling you and your family, I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Look, this is the funny part. This is what cracks me up the most. This is really cracks me up. You motherfuckers actually think that white people have a conscience? You actually think white people are going to feel guilty if they don't give you money? Again, you telling them to give you their money. Okay, give me some money. Just give me some money, because that's never going to happen. This is a spin wheel conversation.
Is it their money? Is it their money?
And they give out money.
Yeah, they give out money. They give
out money.
They give it to banks.
That's because we don't demand it.
So that's because we sit here. That's because we sit here and convince ourselves for some reason that they won't give us money.
They're propaganda.
We sit here and convince ourselves that white people won't give us money. We espouse it. We won't stay focused and tell them to pay us our money. Because they haven't done it, don't mean that they won't.
They ain't gonna never. They ain't gonna never.
You think these white people?
Man. They ain't gonna never.
And
then every time something happens.
Yeah, but they can pay money for this vaccine, to get this vaccine to everybody.
Everything.
They're getting it to black people too, ain't they? They're getting it to black people. They ain't gonna never get the vaccine to people for free. They ain't gonna never have all this money. The white people is my God. The white people and master ain't never. And master ain't never. What I'm saying is, look. No, we're changing the paradigm, bro. Look. What we're saying is all things are possible. What we're saying is this: they owe us the money. Whether or not they're gonna do it, we need to keep demanding it, and we need to be focused. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for them to tell us. It ain't for us to say they ain't gonna give us the money. We got to bill them in the interest. Look. Now, the last thing I'm gonna leave it at this for me, and I'm gonna throw it to you, is the marketing. I'm just telling you a mindset. Look, America, y'all just had this jackass Donald Trump be the president. You look like shit all over the world. You look like shit. You've done a lot of atrocities all over the world. You just saw the Lloyds of London. If these bankers are saying, yeah, we're sorry, and we messed up, and we owe, and we're going to sit here and not bill them, we're retarded. So all I'm saying, bro, is if you take it from that standpoint, bill them. They owe us the money. That's all. You know, bill them. Nope. Let them tell us no.
No, I'm with you. You know,
and for it's what I'm saying is it's what word am I looking for good PR. For PR, that's what I would tell these pink people. Listen, the PR that you're going to get from this around the world, we're going to bring Obama out and Michelle when they go low and we go high, and we sing Kumbaya and they sing Kumbaya, and we do this and we do that. We're going to get all the gangster rappers. We're going to get Larry Hoover. We're going to get all the thugs and everybody to finally come out. Seriously, man. And it's going to go all over the world. In America, you can finally get that monkey off your back and everybody looking at everybody like everybody's short and like everybody owe it. Now, if that ain't worth it to you, America, if that ain't worth it to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Seriously. And then now, guess what they can say, Self, 10 years from now? You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps like everybody else. Now they can say that. Now I can say it. Now I can say it to somebody talking about give me $5 in the hood. Give you $5. You know what I'm saying?
We gave you boots.
Oh my God.
Right. But you got your money all in one lump sum and went out there.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Before everybody could get set up.
Shades. You know.
Yeah. Before the black people could get set up and be selling you all that. You in that downtown.
That's under your propaganda idea.
Okay. Yes.
Under my idea, it's completely different.
All right.
Yeah.
The lump sum. The lump sum approach. He's explaining.
Now, again, when you said throw money at it and drop paper bags of money, no. I mean, you have to look at it differently. I said jobs. I said create a grocery store. Okay. I said be able to create jobs within the neighborhood for the next generation.
Right.
Get a car dealership. Open up whatever fast food restaurants.
Who you gonna get to push a grocery cart when you just gave him 500,000 lump sum? But go ahead. You go ahead.
You got the youth. You got the.
They just got 500 grand. Everybody got it.
Really though.
I mean, think it through, bro. You're a warrior. Okay. You're a guy. You just beat him up, grab him by the neck, break his neck.
No. So then, what businesses can be created? Everybody's rich now. So you still need business. You still need a grocery store. You still need to go somewhere to get your groceries. You still need to get a car. You still need to get, now you invest and you create your own business. So now you can get more money. So you're going to be spending money anyway. So go ahead and create a job so you can be able to get some of that money. And hopefully people that are spending money are smart about how they spend it. Hopefully they'll spend it on real estate. Maybe we can be able to open up a hospital. Somebody be smart enough to unite their money and create some type of food chain, grocery store chain across the country.
Or a bank.
A bank.
Yeah,
there you go. You know, maybe they'll be smart enough to be able to unite their money because not everybody got money. So everybody's spending money. So you got to be able to still, like I said, get groceries. So now get your own business.
We could start our own stock exchange.
You can start your own stock exchange.
Man, with just black businesses. Yeah.
With just black business across the country. You know what I'm saying? So now if you got all this money, use it and invest it smart so you can be able to build a new and brand new richer community. None of them.
And then now you're gonna look real stupid when you're 18 years old and you're running around flashing money and shooting people. Right now you're gonna look really stupid, and it's gonna be really hard for all the property owners in the area to tolerate it one bit. Right?
Right, because now everybody's rich, and we don't need that riffraff shit in our neighborhoods. Hey, here you go. Chop this one up. Get that nigga shit out of here.
Well, let me say this, bro. This is controversial, but I've said this. I said now we can even start thinking about building our own private prisons, right? And then pushing and getting some of this federal money from the government, and then pushing and saying, look, we're housing our people better, and then we're housing our sociologists, we're housing our black men to be the guards, instead of complaining about what the KKK ain't doing for us all the time.
Again, everything is all black now, even the prison industrial complex.
Right.
It's all black.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so
right.
You
know what I mean?
We black all the way around. Why? Because we got the money now. Fuck you, pay me, cut the check.
When we're walking CNN through our prison and they're like, these guys aren't throwing, feces on your guards. Why not? Because our guards aren't raping them in their booty.
Right. Our guards treat them like human beings.
Right.
Our guards are getting them ready to be able to be new citizens when it's time to leave.
Exactly.
What's the phrase for your prison? They're supposed
rehabilitate.
Right. We actually rehabilitate the motherfuckers.
And we're not feeding them garbage in here.
Oh,
you know
my
what
God.
I mean?
Oh man, we'll get rid of every goddamn grocery store on the corner, selling them goddamn red hot Cheetos for breakfast.
Man.
That should be gone.
That
should be gone.
I mean, bro, we could definitely
so instead of waiting to get a payment once in a while,
once a month.
Lump sum, right? You give us this lump sum of money. Now we got something to open a business with, could partner with someone to create a chain of businesses instead of just giving me a check every month.
Or
go ahead.
All right.
We go right to the local everything.
To the black bank.
No, they go right to. I'm just saying the opposite. You know what I mean? It's not a debate show, but
okay.
Go and spend it all in one full swap, like we talked about,
like we tend to do.
Yes.
No, but the thing is this is where that one full swap shit is now.
And they won't spend it with us because we won't be owning stuff yet.
And we are where we are. We're not we're not in some imaginary space where we all gonna go.
So they're gonna run to the Gucci store, they're gonna run to the mall, and we can't get set up.
And guess what, geniuses? Guess what you open up?
What?
A goddamn Gucci store, a goddamn Louis store.
But they're gonna wait for that.
But it takes a while. Like
if you and I, if we're smart business people and we're aware of what's going to be happening, we're going to get the news on when the check.
He's giving us our idea and talking sarcastic, snarky about it, like as though this is his original thought. And geniuses. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell the geniuses your original concept.
It's my propaganda and it's your propaganda.
No, we want to hear it. Come on. We want to hear it.
Propaganda against your propaganda.
We are geniuses. 3 clubs. All the 3 clubs are geniuses. So
there's 3 of us here, so that's 9.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm 2 club, nigga. 2 club. Yo. Anchor, bro. Anyway.
Yeah. But go ahead, bro.
So because we know this, and you're saying this already, you already have a plan in place, so you can go ahead and make that.
How about this, Anchor 2 Club? Instead of building a Gucci store anchored to club, how about building something that's called Pookie, or something that's owned black, something that's black anchored to club, and then conditioning the minds of our people and telling everybody in our nation, all the Bloods, the Crips, the Disciples, the Stones, that this is now a business and let's make this cool and fuck Gucci. How about that, genius to anchor? How about that?
I have no problem with that, because that'll be stage 2 of the program. Because you're talking about right away when they get the checks, you say they're going to spend their money right away. You didn't say they were going to wait. You see what I'm saying?
They're not going to wait.
That's why you go grab that money when they got it. That's why you go use Gucci. That's why you go use Fendi. That's why you go use Louis Vuitton. And you go and open that business and grab them dollars.
That's why you
let them finish. Let them finish, Self, and then you go. Go ahead, Noob. Finish. Go ahead, Will.
No, I mean, and that's what you take that money. You said they were not going to wait. So that's my solution to them not waiting. Because in order for us to create a brand new Pookie business, it takes time for us to retrain the mind to think that this is the new hot shit, because now we got to put our propaganda in front of them, our commercials, our media, our propaganda. This the new hot shit, where we get our new whatever rappers, whoever may be for our community, we get them to come and put on our new hot shit. So now they ain't walking around wearing Louis or Gucci.
So we can get Gucci stores, but before the money goes out, but we can't prep all our people before the money goes out. Is that what you're saying?
I muted him. And
okay. All right.
Yeah, because that's that's why you don't give them all the money at once, is the point, and why it's been thought out. Because they might trick off, or any of us could trick off 2 years and still be straight, instead of having it all to trick off at once. And that's just the thinking. That is the thinking.
It's a mindset of a person that, if they had the option, take half of your money in a lump sum or get it all over 10 years. It's a whole mindset of money, But I mean, listen, it's, we're not arguing. It's 6 in one hand, 1 half in the other. I'll take it either way they give it to me. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and my brother had this debate too. As
you don't debate on this program.
Right. But my brother, we had this debate. So and there's no guarantee. It goes into what happens if you don't live out the 10 years and all of that. But it goes into a trust. You know what I mean? It goes to your family and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I said, wealth right now is passed down.
Correct.
Ain't nobody working. Everything is being passed down. Ain't nobody working.
Hey, but I mean, under wheel system, man, it would just be cool, man. Could you imagine, man? They approved it and 500 grand went into everybody's bank account in your neighborhood, Self, tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Just take a minute and think of what it would be like. Everybody's bank account, Will, 500 grand tomorrow.
So what we gonna open up? What business we about to open up? What we about to capitalize with together?
Man.
What we gonna do?
Man.
What would you do? What would we think? Would we think of a school?
I don't know about we, but I don't need you. Get away from me. I mean, that could be the reaction.
Already.
I'm just saying it could be the reaction.
Yeah, because I think somebody instead of getting a liquor store would go buy out the liquor store, the local.
Yeah, because how do I know you're not trying to cheat me?
See, it's just niggas. I swear.
That's what I'm saying. This is a thought experiment. You have to think it through.
No, I'm with you 1,000%.
Right.
I'm with you. I clearly understand.
Bro, people will be kidnapping people and locking them up for their money. Bro, you can't just do this. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. They can't just.
It'll be out of control,
pandemonium, man. It'd be so much. The mafia be involved. It'd be so many white people
out of control.
Yeah, you'd have to do it like they doing this stimulus money, bro. You know what I mean? And then, but I know why yourself. Yeah, I know why you're saying it. Yeah, we'd have to do it over 4 years. That way the next president can't come in and sign an executive order and be like, we ain't doing this no more.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The whole Senate overturned.
Yeah.
It's overturned in 2 years. Motherfuckers go back and vote again and overturn the Senate and the House of Representatives. And then these motherfuckers make the law enough so they can override a veto that the president has.
I mean, there is that.
That's pay me. Just give me the shit one lump sum. Fuck, like I said, fuck that 10-year shit. Fuck that shit. I know this America. I know this America will change her mind real quick. Fuck that.
No, this bugger gets set off because, dudes trick their money off year 1 and year 2, and then they talking about it ain't no more.
Boy, it has to be a setup.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Give me my shit all up front.
No, I'm saying no. It would set off.
Trick off half that motherfucker.
So
it would
do
set
you
off.
imagine? So if it would be a lean shortage. I hate to say it. It would be a lean shortage all over the world. You'd have to start a lean factory.
Go ahead and do that. That's money.
Listen to this guy. You hear?
That's
Go
money.
ahead and do it.
You're making fun of it. If you're making fun of it, why not make money off of it?
No.
That's why they sell cigarettes.
No, we're with the lean and the pink people's poisons. Those are about to become violations in the Moral Growth and Development program. Yeah, the pills and the lean and all of that's killing our kids and making them commit suicide and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be a no-no. That's gonna be a no-no.
Teach our kids the same way you teach your kids that the new Pookie is the new clothing line. We start propaganding our children through the media I was talking about. Now you start propaganda, that shit not cool.
That's right. Not cool. But we're not going to do that by building a lean factory.
No, you build that type of shit so the cracker can continue to die. You sell that shit to them. You do the shit that they was doing to us to them.
Well, see, that's a conversation. That's a conversation that we can probably have, outside of this forum. That's because we're in a public live forum here. So let's get the next video rolling real quick because I do want to see this one and we can wrap it up.
We are live.
Yeah, we are live here in a live forum. We're in the Pink People's Forum too.
Live already.
Yeah. See, we already succumbing to the man.
I mean, you can't put all the ideas out there.
Especially on
Africans
their
were enslaved in the United States between 1619 and
That's
1865. Approximately 12 million Africans were stolen from their homes and packed on ships, which could hold up to 600, like sardines.
These white magic.
Many died or jumped overboard during the Middle Passage to America. The Middle Passage was a route that transported slaves from Africa. The route started in Europe, stopped in Africa, then continued to North and South America before returning to Europe. Most enslaved Africans, over 5 million, were taken to Brazil. Just over 300,000 arrived in America. The 1787 3/5 Compromise counted slaves as 3/5 of a person for congressional purposes. Slaves could not vote, however. They were also banned from learning how to read and forbidden to marry outside of their race. Congress outlawed the African slave trade in 1808, but the domestic slave trade continued in the U.S. Slavery wasn't exclusive to the South, with 1/5 of New York City's population comprising of slaves in 1740. Enslaved Africans comprised 13% of the total U.S. population by 1860. Virginia had the highest number of enslaved Africans, followed by Georgia. Slaves made up 55% of the total population in Mississippi in 1860. Enslaved Africans weren't content with their deplorable living conditions in the U.S. One estimate puts the number of slave revolts at 250. One of the most notable was the Nat Turner slave revolt in 1831, where he led a group of followers and killed approximately 51 whites. Maintaining the institution of slavery was the root cause of the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln wrote in 1862 that if he could, quote, save the Union without freeing any slave, I would.
Middle Eastern or something.
Nearly 179,000 black men fought for the Union in the Civil War. The 13th Amendment formally abolished slavery in the United States on December 6, 1865.
Because he looked like he had moose in his hair. Go ahead and run the next one, Sal.
All right, hold on. I just said it. Hold on.
I thought this.
Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow.
I mean, somebody's got to find him and just beat the crap out of him, man.
Oh, he's long dead.
Yeah, I know, bro. I'm talking about back then.
Oh, back then, they ain't no.
Yeah.
Them people used to go around and perform that like.
Yeah, they could have found him, just like we can find him today. It's a matter of want to. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be willing to take those risks and just put it out on the line.
Oh, yeah, okay. Now
find these people and beat the crap out of them. That's mentally, psychologically. What's going on?
Well, I had cut them off.
You cut everybody off?
And then I went to the large screen and couldn't
why did you cut everybody? Why did you cut everybody off? They can't sit on the side of the screen with us while we watch videos.
Will left, and
Oh yeah, it's a good job.
He's sitting there.
Good job. It's a good job.
It needed just you on the screen. I wasn't on the screen
job.
either.
Brother Pullen, your lighting. I mean, you're doing good, but it's cool, bro. Yeah, I mean, I like your studio. You just probably got upgrade your lighting a little bit. Good, Noop. Hey, but next time I come to Vegas, man, we're gonna kick it. We gotta kick it, bro.
No doubt. Let me know when you're coming.
Yeah, my mom is out there, man. So you gotta show me Vegas. Hey, Noop. First time I went to Vegas, it was our honeymoon, and I had a brand new. I had a camcorder, and we were staying in MGM Grand. And I go down there, bro. And I just got the camera out and I'm filming. I'm just as green and naive. Man, I walked through I was walking through it and filming the tables, and then finally security came. I'm like, hey,
what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, you can't do any of that. I'm like, really? But I acted so naive. If I would, I mean, all the footage I needed, I had. If
Right.
Yeah, I hit him with Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you didn't know, so shit. You wasn't down there, you fresh. Mary, you wasn't finna figure me like walking through this shit trying to do some
shit. That Eddie Murphy, the ignorant, happy, funny black guy on vacation.
Ignorance of the law does not make you exempt of the law.
True. That is true.
But perception is reality, and you get to walk away when they, know that you ain't shit them about.
I can dig that they understood that he was genuinely, did not know. But the law is, ignorance of the law does not make you exempt of it.
A policy and a private, and you make me do stuff because you just keep repeating stuff that I let go the first 2 times. Now, this is a policy and a private entity. They have policies, they have signs that have to be clearly posted. And if your guests who are staying in your residence, are there, it would be prudent upon you to say, hey, you can't do that. Now, if I continue to do it, if I was trying to hide it, I wouldn't have been in there with the big camera. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. They was cool about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I was breaking a law, but maybe there was a Nevada law. Maybe it is a gaming commission law. I don't know. But how am I supposed to know these laws? I'm not from there. I mean,
All I'm saying, brother, is this. They've locked up many a black man over that phrase. Ignorance of the law does not make you exempt of the law.
But because they've locked up many of black people using that ignorance, it's a new paradigm, bro. We got to be on these juries. We can't sit here and just say because it's been happening, that's what's going to. This is a new day, bro. We're not doing it, man. We ain't doing it.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. What I'm saying to you is this. Based on the law, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Enough said. You said it. This is the 4th time now.
Not what I believe.
It's the 4th time now. So geniuses. Once
I saw how y'all treated Drew.
Oh, this is what this is about. How we treated Tory's ship.
Yeah, he's muted.
Unmute him. No,
I'm going to unmute him, but
I want to hear. This is what this is about. How we treated your ship, my purse.
No. That shit was hilarious. I know.
You're going there though.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, let's hear it.
That's why the shit was funny. I was like, oh shit, they
I
want
hear
to
it.
treat me like Drew. I saw the rebroadcast of that, man. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, well, Drew probably won't deleted all of the video. You know what I'm saying? He probably deleted all of the videos, man. And then we don't want and then listen, our no debate format, and we should make that more clear, Self. That's more for the guests that we do. So on Wednesday when we host you can sit there and espouse all types of stuff you want to espouse. But on these open panels where there's a topic, we don't have to sit here and listen to somebody. You know what I mean? So
wait a minute, is he serious?
Yeah. So as of now, we're making the format clear. Yeah, just because I think people are taking advantage. No, I mean seriously, somebody could come in here right with a blue shirt on and say, and all the Kappas and U of I were vaginas, and you know what I mean. And Self was supposed to sit here. No, seriously, and we're supposed to say it's not a debate show. You know what I mean? Right?
Be like
some nonsense.
Boop. Right off here, and not mute and cut off video. Remove. Like,
I'm just saying, for example,
trolls get holes.
Right. You know what I mean? Period. We have an obligation, to the self-love nation.
No doubt.
Of silverbacks out here.
That's right, motherfuckers. Make it happen.
Man, it's a paradigm shift, bro. I promise you, Nuke. We changing the game, man.
I'm waiting on it, man. Because look, over the years, this country has shown time and time again, when you look back on history, not even 100 years ago, where people are talking about the same issue.
Man.
The same problems.
Dr. Claude Anderson said that when we came out of slavery, we had 0.05% of 1% of the income in the country, or the money, the value of the country. Said now we got less than that.
It was so funny to see that video that you're talking about, where it showed, I think in like 1860, that we were 13% of the country.
Yeah.
Still 13% of this country.
Yeah. That's by design.
Yeah, they are controlling the population.
Man.
Culling us. Margaret Sanger and people
Planned
can say
Parenthood.
what they want to about Planned Parenthood, and it does good or whatever, but I know that it kills more black people.
It targeted black people.
Yes.
Who's the grandson
they're in our neighborhoods. Huh?
Who's the grandson again there? I forget.
Oh, Bill Gates.
I was being facetious.
Out there.
Yeah, he's being facetious.
Wow. Yeah,
I wasn't. His father was.
Now we're talking the Bill Gates?
Yes.
His father was the
the
chairman or the highest point of the Planned Parenthood.
Wow.
And heavy in the eugenicist movement.
Oh man, they believe heavy that eugenics, man. We are over this earth is overpopulated, my friend. Overpopulated.
Is it?
According to them.
Yeah.
And they need to depopulate. And guess who they coming for?
You already know.
Poor people. This is what I try to tell the world. You might say black people first, but if you watch how Hitler got down, Adolf Hitler, you know what I mean? He's just lining them up. You know what I mean? He's doing this, and then you're next, and then you're next, and you're next. Yeah, it comes down to poor people. And I think Bernard was saying that earlier.
Yeah.
How this system has propped up a bunch of ignorant pink people. Ignorant people who don't realize that they're slaves too, and that they've been slaves.
Yeah.
Have no idea. They just have a group of people that they can look at and say, "Oh, better than them."
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, well, no matter what this hell I'm going through, I'm better than them.
But then
God
get mad.
Damn it.
But get mad when they're not better. You know what I'm saying? When you're shining. Yeah.
When you're shining.
What the hell?
When you got a Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, when you got a black
Wall Street,
and you got beautiful and you got beautiful women and beautiful kids, and
shining, minding your own business.
Man, and they go into church and they clean. You know what I mean, on Sundays, and yeah.
So we've already done it, man, and
we've done it.
So we can't say that we can't do it. We know how to. We just got to put our minds to it and just do it.
Here's the thing, too. Once we do it, we have to now secure our own
everything.
Secure our own areas.
Here's the funny part about that. We did it under what? Segregation. And that was probably the only reason why we stuck together, because we was forced to stick together. As soon as integration came about, they was gone. The money left. The money left because they wanted to go spend it with the crack.
Well, hold on.
It became a conditioning, though.
Yeah, for a long period of time. Every time we had a community that succeeded like that, they came and burned it down. So it became implanted in. Hold on.
Yeah,
we listened.
You let him finish. You don't want it to be a debate show, but yet you know.
We learned over time, like, how you have to move. There are things you can do, and yes, you could go ahead and get yourself killed the first day, or you can try to make sure that you expand into the future with your people and overcome or deal with what you have to be there for your family. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to just those two choices.
There's a lot more strength too, and the person who made the choice that said, "Yeah, I'm going to just end it right here, and not even get on that boat," is not necessarily stronger than the ancestor who took another route.
Became a slave. That's the other route. The other route was slavery.
Who survived?
The slave.
But then you survive, and then you,
as a slave,
at some point, you're no longer a slave.
When you're dead.
So
you're a slave.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That would make.
Yes.
Right. So you're talking about your ancestors were slaves.
Yeah. Yes.
And chose
life over death.
Correct.
Yes.
It's interesting. Brutal, maybe true. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we all say, if I was there, I would have. If I was there, I would have. Right? But nobody's doing it now, right? Right? They all sat there and watched George Floyd get kneed out like that. And if they would have showed me that history and I was in 5th grade and they would show me that was something in the 50s, I'd be like, if I was there, I would have. Right? We would have.
2020.
Uh-huh.
Nobody did nothing. Nobody did a thing. They watched them die.
Well, they sent a lot of checks to Black Lives Matter. What's your take on Black Lives Matter?
Hold on.
Mute him while he's gone. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Isn't that the organization that says something that they don't believe in a normal family structure?
So they don't believe in a traditional family structure.
Traditional family structure, yeah. Isn't that what that group says? Isn't that in their bylaws?
Wow.
That's all I got to say about that organization.
I wouldn't even know that its major funder is a, big
guy.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. But the bylaws actually state that they're against traditional families. So if you're against a traditional family, you're against me. Because I'm traditional family. It's mother, father. That's traditional. Untraditional father's nowhere to be found. Or mommy's nowhere to be found.
Interesting.
Very.
Yeah. Interesting. You, Brother Pullen, Black Lives Matter?
I believe all lives matter, but in terms of the African American experience, we have our own situation that we need to take care of, to be who we are and lift our own selves up within in the world.
Definitely. Any action that y'all think we could take to stop these overseers from doing?
This one I know I can't say on air, so I'm not.
I hear you, bro, and I've heard. And 12, y'all know what that is, and I hear you, bro. I hear you, man.
That's the only way it's gonna stop,
bro. I have had people tell me this for at least 25 years, and I'm like, no, man, nah, can't, no. And it's like, man.
You can't tell me you didn't feel that when you saw that dude with that tattoo slamming that little girl's face on the floor. I mean, he was kicking her ass.
Man.
With that tattoo all on his body. You and I both know what that tattoo means on his body.
Man.
And wasn't no man. Again, that little boy that stood there was like, I'm scared. A man is not scared. A man is not scared. That little boy, and that's the only thing that's over in that household is that little boy.
Hold on. I don't know if they're not scared. They act anyway.
No, I'm talking about the little boy.
No, well, I'm not going to debate, but they both could be true what y'all just said, and I agree. I agree with Will. A man is not scared.
A man is not scared. A man is not scared.
Yeah. A man is not scared. What are you scared of? What's he afraid of? Dying? You afraid of the white man?
There you go.
What is he scared of? The
police? Man
police?
is not scared.
Seriously, was he scared of being a female dog? Is he scared of being? I mean, honestly, these are questions like to sit in. He was saying that because he didn't want to get arrested. He didn't want to get involved in that. And that's what he was quote unquote afraid of. Because dude was like, you can come in here and you. He was like, man, I'm not going nowhere with you. But I've had this debate with somebody, and I just feel like, well, and both are biblical. I just think I don't fear anything but God, and that's self. That's it. That's all.
And that's
what is a man afraid of?
I'm saying that's the problem, man. These boys are not learning how to be men. That's why like these cats running from the police officer. What you running from?
Yeah.
Look him dead in his eye.
Man.
Look him in his eye and be like, yes, officer, how can I help you? You know what I'm saying? Don't run from him. What you running for? You're running because you're scared.
Yeah. Everybody's scared. And have these people that ask for IDs, might have a warrant or a case, but it's still more fear. Everything's wrapped up in fear. Racism is fear. These police talking about they're scared. That's all, fear.
Everybody is afraid of everybody.
Yeah. He with that lady, that story, man, if y'all would have saw it, Tori, he was literally had no business on that property. And all she asked him is, what are you doing on the property? And his dominance couldn't,
that was all ego because he lied to everybody that came on the scene after that.
Because he knows he can.
But they had footage.
Because he knows that they have footage and they'll redact it or it'll never come out, or the footage will come out and they still keep their jobs. So then what happens is, so what happens? So then what naturally happens goes back to the thought experiment that I did with Message to the Pink Man. What would you do?
Right. It was footage on both sides though, because old girl had footage out there. He talking about it that directly conflicted everything that he was lying about. You know what I mean? The footage when she walked out there and was in the car.
He'll still have his diplomatic immunity. He'll still have,
that's the crazy point of that. We gotta get rid of that, man. That's like
at most, I think they get demoted now. That's the new thing. I think that's the type of job, and I've heard other brothers say it, that you do almost have to be perfect on that job, bro. Right.
I mean, you do, but you have to choose that. You know what I mean? That's a crazy job to choose. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I know somebody's got to do it, but not me. Just real talk. I got to police myself and my environment. But
we can all watch interactions.
Yeah.
Some of these interactions, like I don't know if I sent you the one with the pink couple. The guy was about our age. He was riding with his adult daughter, and they saw somebody laying next to the train tracks. And all he did was report it.
He didn't even report it. His
daughter called him in, but they were in the car. Well, I mean, they reported it to the police. The police shop, just give me your ID and we'll write it up. And I need you.
His whole thing was, I need the car moved. He was like, it's not my car. I didn't drive. You know what I mean?
And you don't need my ID, and in any of this.
And told him, gave him he arrested him, and then he was gonna let him go. And he said, well, I'm gonna file a complaint. And then he just went on ahead and arrested him. It was just some full-blown tyranny.
He said, I'm gonna give you something to file a complaint about. And this dude was the trainer.
Centralia, Illinois.
Yeah, and he was the trainer.
Man, that's retarded.
Man. And let me see where we can drop down to on these videos, because this
we got some Trife Mac all up in the
Trife Mac
chat.
Up in there, bro.
Yeah, man. He said, we're all a slave if we get up and go to work. I've tentatively titled it Compensated Slavery.
Yeah.
He said, you got to look at what Haiti did in 1804 and all the other insurrections, point blank period.
Yeah.
He said, they're scared to lose their comfortability in this wicked system. He said, no one firefighter said they were scared during 9/11. So why should an officer be able to use that when they know the dangers of the job? I agree with you.
Well, technically,
plausible deniability.
Well, technically, you and I can be walking down the street. I could stumble, fall towards an officer. Or not even any of that, but I could stumble and fall towards an officer. That officer could say, oh, I was scared. I thought he was going for my gun and I shot him 15 times.
Yeah.
This is what it's come to.
As deplorable as that is.
Yep. Yep. That's how it would be written up. But let's see where we're at. Because I wanted to... Jim Crow, we don't have to do that. The Reconstruction, slavery without the chain.
We were at Reconstruction, the good, bad, and ugly. Do you want to go with slavery without the chain?
Yeah, let's do slavery without the chain, bro. Well, it's 7 minutes. We won't play all of it.
No doubt.
And we'll skip medical slavery. Although that was...
Man, that might need to play that much.
Yeah, matter of fact, play that now.
All right, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just skip all the other ones. And, we won't play the whole thing, but that... Yeah, that thing blew my mind.
It's very, very, very disturbing. Like, this is... That's why, you made the question to me. It was like, if somebody don't want reparations after this, and you know how I approach that. That's why I feel that way.
Yeah, after watching this video. Yeah.
Man, these set of videos. But this one, yeah.
Yeah, I want to start reaching out to some of them people, see if we can have them come sit on some of these shows. So, like old girl that did that, she would have been interesting.
Yeah. Real talk.
Man, any comments on that video, Self-Love or Brother Pullen?
Yeah, it was inspiring. Always good to get some truth, spoken into my spirit.
Man, facts. So let's drop down to MLK if you ain't got nothing to say or nothing in the chat. MLK and slavery.
Yeah.
It's a quick 2-minute video.
Yep. It's no problem.
And then we're going to do wage slavery. And Brother Poland, if you need to drop off, man, you know, we understand. But you're welcome to stay, too.
You know, no doubt, you know, I'm a, you know, subscriber to the show. You know, I'm going to be here whether I'm on or not.
Yes, sir. Jimi Hendrix, RNA. Oh, yeah.
What is it about the Negro? I mean, every other group that came as an immigrant somehow, not easily, but somehow got around it. Is it just the fact that Negroes are black?
White America must see that no other ethnic group has been a slave on American soil. That is one thing that other immigrant groups haven't had to face.
He was killed after this.
The other thing is that the color became a stigma. American society made the Negro's color a stigma. America freed the slaves in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation of Abraham Lincoln, but gave the slaves no land or nothing in reality, and as a matter of fact, to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 240
that's just
years,
spitting in your face.
any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps, but it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And many Negroes, by the thousands and millions, have been left bootless as a result of all of these years of oppression and as a result of a society that deliberately made his color a stigma and something
they didn't play this in grade school.
Degrading.
Not at all.
I didn't hear that at grade school.
Not at all. I know that.
No.
What was the next one?
It's gonna be wage slavery. Let's jump into that.
All right.
Because I want to show the cave too, so if they got to see the cave.
Wage slavery, which they regarded as not very different from chattel slavery. In fact, this was such a popular view that it was actually a slogan of the Republican Party, that the only difference between working for a wage and being a slave is that working for a wage is supposedly temporary.
They and their families were as effectively held and immobilized on those farms in the 1890s and into the 1900s as their grandparents had been held as slaves in the same places before the Civil War. Almost all sharecroppers were never able to pay back the debts to the landowners on whose land they worked. They effectively were peons, even though they were not called that at the time.
Freedom is a spectrum with chattel slaves on the left and slave masters on the right. The foundation of the wage-slave relationship is the economic dependency of the slave on the master. Wage slavery changes the form of compensation from food and shelter to money, which can theoretically be used to purchase food and shelter. Although free in name, most Americans are broke, in debt, live paycheck to paycheck, and couldn't walk away from their jobs without losing their homes. The average worker today works 24% more than a 14th century peasant. In 1 year, this is the equivalent of an additional 2 months of work. Freedom to most Americans is largely an illusion. So how can the working masses win back their time and increase their freedom? Well, they can bargain for better working conditions, but at the end of the day, employers have no incentive to offer this given the increasingly competitive labor market, and it doesn't solve the fundamental master-slave dynamic caused by the economic dependence that's the root cause of all of this. The closest we have to a silver bullet is a universal basic income, an unconditional cash transfer that every citizen gets that provides just enough to pay for basic living expenses. This removes the master-slave dynamic and gives workers the freedom to walk away from their jobs and spend their time how they wish. Sweden doesn't have a basic income, but they're a great example of how a generous safety net can promote greater risk-taking and entrepreneurship. Freedom in name is not the same as freedom in reality. Just ask.
Being forced to be something like slaves, they argued that if you're say a journeyman, a craftsman, and you sell your product, you're selling what you produced. If you're a wage earner, you're selling yourself, which is deeply offensive.
And I think that splitting hairs about what's slavery, what's involuntary servitude, what's forced labor, is a distracting exercise. The reality is, millions of black people in remote parts of the South could not leave the farms they were being held on. If they did, they were subject to arrest by the sheriff, and if they were arrested, they would then be returned to the very same farms, oftentimes in chains, receiving nothing. That is slavery. That's a form of slavery.
We're going to need to go ahead and move you downstairs into storage B. We have some new people coming in, and we need all the space we can get.
But there's no space.
So if you could just go ahead and pack up your stuff and move it down there, that would be terrific.
I would
okay?
I could stay.
Okay. Yeah. So jump on to the cave. So yeah, but great man. Right?
Yeah, man.
It's all semantics.
Imagine prisoners that have spent their entire lives chained deep inside a cave. They have been chained so that they cannot see behind themselves, and they are forced to stare endlessly at the cave wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire is burning, and between the prisoners and the fire is a raised walkway. Now imagine that each day, a menagerie of objects crosses the walkway. Animals, and people carrying their wares to market.
And a boat.
Their shapes create an intricate shadow play on the wall in front of the prisoners. This is the only world that the prisoners have ever known. The shadows and the echoes of unseen objects. Now, imagine that a prisoner is released. After some time adjusting to the blinding light, the freed prisoner will begin to experience the world outside of the cave for the very first time. And it is like nothing he could have ever imagined.
Where you going, nigga? Show me your papers.
With his new perception of the world, the man will of course want to return to his friends to share his incredible discoveries. But the prisoners cannot recognize their old friend. He appears as all things do. His voice is a distorted echo, and his body is a grotesque shadow. They cannot understand his fantastic stories of the world outside of the cave. To them, it will never exist. This, of course, does not make the world outside of the cave any less real.
You can stop that.
Yeah, that's
Well, Socrates, I guess he taught Plato, and so Socrates got murked, running around philosophizing and calling out the government. He got tortured and murked, and so Plato was saying that he was using that allegory to kind of tell the philosophers how to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, he saw what happened to his teachers. So.
Well, yeah, because there's other episodes of that where they actually kill the guy. So, it's like you go out and you're coming and you're trying to wake us up and tell us, hey, nah, y'all just looking at shadows. Y'all ain't looking at real life. And then, and right. You're just talking crazy to us. And you're just talking so crazy that they will kill you. That's just what the program is.
Yeah.